Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the CDC platform. Yet another watch along, and this is a big one. The match that really matters. I'm talking about the first semi-final between Australia and India in this Women's World T20, and it comes from Newlands, Cape Town. It's a glorious day out there, and the big breaking news from the centre is that Australia won the toss and decided to bat first. Now, remember, Australia are probably the best team ever to have played the game because look, they possess such good talent throughout from 1 to 11. We'll tell you about the changes, of course, not just the Australian ones, but the 3 Indian changes as well. And that is something to consider because, of course, there was doubts about Harmanpreet's fitness. She's made it all right, but Pooja Vastrakar misses out due to a respiratory illness, we're hearing. But there are, of course, good replacements. One of them is, of course, Sneha Rana, and not to forget the other 2 changes, which we'll tell you in due course. Now, if you're wondering why I'm sitting in the center, well, I'm just waiting for a man to pop on. He's here right now. We can get him on. Bishan Jaswant, the man that you guys saw earlier in the watch-alongs as well. Bish, good to see you. Sorry to kidnap you on a Thursday for this amazing watch-along. You happy with India chasing right now? Because that was a talk in the last watch-along, the fact that we actually have a chance chasing more than defending.
Yeah, I know, in a big game like this, and against a team like Australia, who could really bat you out of the game, I think you'd want to bat first ideally, but of course you don't get to pick these things.
Correct.
And we should now make the most of it. But if you had a choice, I'm definitely picking batting.
Yeah, definitely picking batting. Now, we will, of course, tell you about the changes. I was alluding to the 2 of them. So we'll tell you the India playing 11 for starters. Now, Renuka Singh is going to be, of course, bowling to Alisa Healy, who also comes in. And straight away, Australia get a boundary to get their innings underway. So straight away, we see runs. 4 for no loss, Australia. Sink in your stream, of course, and show us some love in this particular watch-along. There's going to be lots of chat, stats, and of course insights as we go along. Now, I keep talking about the changes that India made. 3 of them, I'm going to read them out for you essentially, because this is how our playing 11 looks. So Shefali Walma, Smriti Mandana, and Jemima Rodriguez and Harmanpreet Kaur. That's the 4 that we've always seen, and maybe the 5 with Richa Ghosh there. Then it's Deepti Sharma, Yastika Bhatia has been chosen. Sneha Rana also comes in, and Shikha Pandey. Radha Yadav is there, as well as Renuka Thakur Singh. So essentially, no Pooja Vastrakar, there's no Devika Vaidya, and of course, the other one who misses out is Rajeshwari Gaikwad. Are you happy with those changes?
One of them was forced. The Pooja change was forced.
Correct.
And I'm glad the Harman change didn't happen because there were 2 ill people the day before the game. And thankfully, Harman was pulled through. The other changes, well, I mean, Sneha Rana is not a like-for-like replacement for Pooja Vastrakar. Sneha Rana is the replacement there. And so it'll be, they're essentially a pacer shot. Right? So, I mean, which may not be a bad thing against a team like Australia who play pace well. And our pacers are no match for theirs. And I mean, I just saw before this game, I think Talia Magra saying that she's scared to face one of her teammates.
Darcy Brown.
So if they have the scary pacers in their own ranks, maybe our pacers won't scare them, as we discussed this last game as well. Pace not being our strongest suit, spin is our strongest suit. So to that extent, I am fairly happy with team selection. Maybe, I mean, no offense to Pooja Vastrakar. She's been fantastic for our team, one of the mainstays. So absolutely, hats off to her. But it may have worked out okay in this case.
Yeah, no worries. Bishan's a busy man on a Thursday evening, so we'll excuse that. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was saying it may work out okay in this case with spin being a strong suit, and let's see.
Let's see, because look, Renuka Singh can draw inspiration from what she did against the Aussies in that Commonwealth game final. 4 for 18, I think she was, and of course, not to forget her 5 for 15 that she picked up early on in the tournament. I think this is going to be a make or break situation, even though people said that India got the wickets against England, for example. I think England were 40 for 3, but then they kind of took the game away from India. And Australia have similar batting depth, right? So what is it going to be? What are the key battles that we're looking for right now?
I think Alisa Healy just coming back in after missing out in the last game. And she, I don't want to say rusty because she's one of the best batters in the game.
Correct.
Just announced captain of Lucknow, I think, as well yesterday. And so it'll be interesting if we can get her early. I mean, it's almost a cliche in cricket to say early wickets matter, but especially in a game like this, especially against a team like Australia that bats deep and bats hard. If you don't get those early wickets, even if you get the early wickets, by the way, they could still get 160. If you don't get those early wickets, you're looking at 180, right? And that almost in the women's game bats you out of the game. So you don't want to put yourself into that little corner. So I think the the first battle, so to say, will be the Indian pacers against the Aussie top order. And then we'll come to the spinners. But that battle may become a non-battle if we don't get the early wickets up top.
No, absolutely. And sometimes we're running out of adjectives to describe this Australian women's cricket team. We call them juggernaut, the Invincibles, because let's face it, they possess the last 5 out of 6 T20 World Cups. They have the ODI World Cup as well with them. And plus, they haven't lost a single game in this particular competition. With that, let's of course bring in Nikhil Popat, Cricket Crazy. Next, call him what you want. But
and as Nick comes in, Deepthi comes in.
And Deepthi comes in. It's almost, I don't know what the word is to describe it, but it's almost the perfect way to introduce Nix. Nix, is this a good move, throwing on Deepthi early on to, of course, Healy and Mooney?
Yes. Mooney loves to bat first against India, average of about 50. If Deepthi can strike early, it'll just calm down the nerves that would be there. And as Vishen rightly said, against Australia, we've discussed you need 10 very, very good balls.
Correct.
Just 10. Not more than that. Take good 5 of them early and you should still be in a better shape. So yeah, very important to not let the momentum drift. Even if you don't take the wickets, it just has to be tight. They have to you have to make them work harder for their boundaries. If you do that, the mistake will come. So trusting Deepthi to at least create the pressure, if not strike.
Nix has only little requests. I said an early wicket is a cliche. Nix wants 5. He wants 5 early wickets. And I was going to say when Nix started talking, rather before he did, let's give Nix a challenge to not say Deepthi for 5 minutes. But Deepthi is bowling. I can't even say that to him now.
But I mean, how do you think the preparation would have gone in that Indian camp when they're looking at someone like Australia? Can they draw inspiration from that super over win, which was not too long ago in India? Or do they even look at recent times where Ireland, of course, surprised Australia in the warm-ups? Nick, so what's the plan? What's the messaging that the team has got from Kanitkar and company?
I think the first and foremost will be to control the controllables. It sounds very cliche, but it is something India haven't always done well in this tournament as well. So hopefully that will be the first thing. Stick to what we've decided. It's okay. They are there to put pressure on you, but there will always be plan A, B, C, D. But you have to ensure that in more that you don't go Pat Cummins first ball slogging across the line just because you're losing wickets. So that is it's a sign that you're not thinking right on at that moment. So I think core playing also plays a lot of influence in terms of calming them down. Had core not been here, I think it would have been a very different unit, just mentally and in their with their body language. Because losing out on core would have been a massive blow. So at least she and their bowling first, we discussed. You can still recover. So that is still, I feel, a better option. We wanted India to chase, so they've got that as well. Now let's get the first one now.
Yeah, let's get the first one now. Guys, isn't it amazing how Sneha Rana wasn't even in the squad, and as soon as there's an injury, she's not just in the squad, but she's in the 11 as well. And how important will she be? Just as I say that, Australia get their second boundary of the innings, and that's the end of the over as well. Or is it? Is the last ball? It's the last ball of these over. So Australia 14 for none, 2 overs gone. Sneha Rana is playing. How will India utilize her? Is there something more with her with the bat, let alone with the ball? How do you think things will unfold?
See, how we'll utilize her is a good question, because in previous games when we've had multiple bowling options, we haven't really used them. Even a full-time bowler like Radha Yadav hasn't really gotten used.
Correct.
Right? So it will really depend on how the Aussies play each of our spinners, and I think we'll have to see it as it goes one by one. Deepti's, as usual, bowled a fairly good first over, but that unfortunate last ball through third man went for 4. But I think you'll definitely see her bowl, there's no doubt, but I'd be very surprised if we see her bowl her full quota, because we do have a few options.
Yeah, we do have a few options, and Shikha Pandey has not been introduced in the attack yet, but Renuka Singh continues, and she's been dealt with down the ground by Healy. So Australia, of course, doing what they do best, which is attack and attack early, and they will make the power play count. By the way, big shout out to all the people watching us right now on Thursday evening. Subscribe and like and tell a friend about this watch along, because we have lots planned for the Women's Premier League, of course, which starts on the 4th of March. So that'll be fun. It's exciting times for women's cricket. Make no mistake about it. We saw the auction. We're seeing some fantastic moments in this World Cup as well, and hopefully it's onwards and upwards from an Indian cricket women's lens as well. Right. We will, of course, tell you who you guys are going to see later on in this watch along. There's going to be Gurkirat, who joins us in the second innings. Radha, of course, who made her presence felt in the last watch along, and Vaishali will be joining us in the second innings. I know it's Thursday and all these people have other things to do, and hence we're being patient with them. Now, I want to ask Nix and get the fantasy chat out of the way, because lots of people will be, of course, wondering who he's made captain and vice captain this evening. Any particular hunches that you had while picking your team? And can you give us a couple of hints of how you've gone picking your team for this match?
Definitely, I had a few hunches. Jess Johnson was bound to play. She's enjoyed success against India, so she was bound to play. So she is definitely a very good differential to try today. The hope was on Haley not coming off, but she has so far. But again, hopefully the average catches up and she's out in the 20s. Even before that, if that happens, you also have the option of trying out. Now, the injury to Pooja Vastakar is a blow, because she's taken the big wickets in the past in this tournament as well. She got Haley Matthews on matchup almost first ball. So that is just how good, and India will miss that aspect. So for her, I think that probably weakens the bowling a bit. So slightly Australia favorite in terms of the combinations too. So I think.
So how many have you gone with? 7-4, 6-5. What's your divide?
7-4. Predominantly Gardner, Deepthi being the common options, and Perry and Jonathan being the differential captain, vice captain options. Again, because Perry, she's had the wood over some of these batters, and again, she's a legend. She knows what's to be done on the big day. So, and she's batting well as well. So that rhythm is always going to be there. So those are again, not too uncommon for those who've played recent India-Australia games, but it's what it is. Sometimes the risk is to not take the risk.
No, absolutely. Any left field picks? I know you're more of a seasonal fantasy player and you're not like a match guy, but if you had to really choose maybe an X factor in today's game?
I don't know she's definitely X factor, but maybe not so commonly picked these days because of form and where she bats in the team, but Harman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and Harman's record against Australia, of course, may not be a ton of matches, but nobody forgets the 171, and that, of course, remains in the mind of the Aussies as well.
Yeah.
Right? So, Harman's, of course, a pick.
And you're basing that on law of averages, the fact that she hasn't come good, and now maybe it's
we say she hasn't come good, but she also made a very crucial 30-odd in the game against Pakistan, which if we'd lost, we wouldn't have made it here. Yeah, so it's only been 4 games as World Cup, and she's performed in one of them. Sure, we have higher expectations of her, and she's not been up to her usual standards, no doubt. But I wouldn't say that she's completely out of form, and so I'd be fairly comfortable picking her.
How about Preet? Of course, doesn't bowl that much anymore, but in terms of a fantasy pick, if she is, of course, on her day, she's an absolute asset. Now, Australia, of course, 22 for none after 3 overs. And I just want to ask you guys, how much would you be comfortable taking right now? It's a beautiful day out there. It looks like the pitch is a decent one to bat on. 160, 170, India still in the game?
Yeah, that's the number I'd say. 160, 170 in women's cricket is a huge score.
It is.
But considering the start that Australia have got, and considering the conditions which look like very favorable conditions to bat in, I would have to be a real optimist to say that Australia won't make it to 150 from here, right? So I think they'd make 150, and even if you're somewhat conservative, 160. So if we can keep them to below 160, I think India would have done fairly well and would give themselves a reasonably good shout in this game. 160 is by no means an easy target in a knockout game against a tough Aussie bowling attack. But I think you said that at the start of the game, I think India would take it.
Yeah, 160, and the caveat is the fact that Smriti and Shefali give us a good start, because then that 160 all of a sudden starts looking like a 180, 190, which we don't want. Nix, let me ask you this. The fact that, she's come dancing down the track, and Dipti to persist with a second over, which is interesting here, and still no Shikha Pandey. Alisa Healy's come down the track and swatted away for 4, and Australia right now 26 for none, 3.1. Next, just to the batting front, India have chased 3 out of 4 times this World Cup. And I know they were relatively modest chase against Pakistan, West Indies, and Ireland. But how much will they be looking to get? 160, 170, you feel? Is that the magic number? Or do you think 175, we have no chance whatsoever?
So there are two ways to look about it. If you get into 160, you will still take it every day in a big game. If it is 175 above, then you don't have any pressure of expectation or thinking that, how do I go about it? There are no second thoughts. So like we often discuss, the targets of 140, 150, 160, sometimes they lull you into a false sense that, okay, there is still time, I can make up for a slow start or something.
Exactly.
But if you're chasing a score like 170 plus or 180 against Australia in a semi-final, the mind does not have to think much. You just have to go hit a boundary every over and see where it takes you. So again, I'm only looking from a positive angle that how to approach the two chases. So ready for both one or A or B. But India will definitely want to keep it below 165, to be very, very honest.
Okay, let's have some fun right now in terms of picking a prediction for the power play, guys. We normally do this in the watch along. There's 20 balls up, another 16 to go. How much do you think Australia can get?
Australia to lose a wicket in the 6th over of the power play, and then slow them down before the 10. I'm calling 43 for 1.
43 for 1. That's relatively modest, the fact they've got off to a flyer. Next, you concur? Do you think slightly higher than that?
No, I think it will be around the similar range, because I think India, I expect Sneh and maybe Radha also to be given a ball. So again, wishful thinking with no Puja, but probably 48 for 2 would be ideal, but I'll take 1.
Yeah,
I thought I was being optimistic. I thought I was being optimistic with my lowish score and a wicket, but I hope you're right next.
Guys, I'm just trying to figure. No, okay, fine. If you guys have to tell me who's going to bowl the next 2 overs, then that kind of decides it, right? Do you think that again it's going to be Renuka, or do you think Shikha from this end?
I think they have to bowl Shikha Pandey, because to get her to bowl all 4 overs later, I don't know if that's ideal. I don't know if you want her bowling that much in the depth.
But even if she doesn't complete a quota of 4 overs, will probably just be dominant with spin throughout the middle overs, right?
Yeah, true. But I would think that they would try out the pacer in the power play.
Yeah.
Because it's not like Deepti hasn't conceded any runs. Boundaries have been coming.
True.
And maybe it does make sense to, bowl the pacer and see if that stems the flow a bit. I mean, the Aussies enjoy playing pace, and clearly Alisa Healy came down the track to hit Renuka over the top. And you can expect more of that against, her as well, but
a little brain fade from pitch, but no,
Shikha Pandey as well.
Shikha Pandey as well.
Yeah, correct.
I'll tell you what, Dipti's done really well this over to come back and actually just concede 1 after that boundary. So India pulled things back pretty well in that over. Only time will tell who's going to be bowling the last 2 overs of the power play, but keep your comments coming through and your predictions, of course. Harun Sharif going on to say 44 on the power play. Ritvik saying 177 as a grander scheme of things total. And I think SS98 said 160 and above will be hard to chase for the women in blue. You can also ask us anything that you want to about this tournament so far. We were, of course, going to pick up the team of the tournament so far with the benefit of all the experts throughout the show. So that'll be something to, of course, rack our brains about. And subscribe if you're watching for the first time. Always welcome for you guys to jump on board on cricket.com. Right, so 4 overs up. I'm starting to feel slightly nervous right now because, look, if India do manage to beat Australia, do you think that they are then poised for greatness, or again it'll be that little hiccup against England and all of that?
See, it's going to be a very tough final anyway.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it would have been...
Here's Shikha, by the way. They're scampering 1 and they get through.
So there's one prediction, right? Hopefully they get the score and that wicket also.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, no, so the ideal situation would have been to have our toughest game in the final.
Yeah.
Right? But the other way to look at that is we've had our toughest game in the semi-final already, assuming we win this, and which puts you a little bit more at ease going into the final, a little bit more confident.
True.
If we were going into the final facing Australia, we'd have been going in for sure nervous because it's a team that's a
But even if we're going to face England again in the final, history suggests we've never beaten them in a World Cup, and it just doesn't bode well, right? Every time we
no doubt, but you're still going in having beaten Australia.
That's
right,
high, yeah.
And that's the confidence you get from doing that. I think if we were to win this match, right, we'd be in a better frame of mind for the final than we would have been if we were facing Australia. So I would say it's overall a positive.
It's overall a positive. Nick, you're nodding politely. Go on.
Yeah, I completely agree with him. I think the confidence that beating Australia would give you, and again, may not always be too much in the opposition mind, but they also know that the team is coming off a very good win. So it just makes them that much bit more cautious or careful that you can't just take them lightly. Like they're coming off beating Australia. So, and again, in knockouts, you need one or two guys to just have the best days of their lives. But just as a unit, they will feel a lot more confident, as Vishen said, if they are going to final beating Australia. At least they will be in a better space. Whatever happens, happens. But you'll give your chance more than equal chance to be like end up on the winning side.
Yeah. By the way, some fantastic fielding from Jemima Rodriguez there. I think she just restricted it to 2. And this is a decent start from Shikhar Pandey. And India winning, according to Rajay Human. Going on to say that in today's game, let's see. Get your predictions below. Just let me know, because lots of people are saying Australia will go on to win another World Cup, and no one will really blame them for thinking that way, because the last time they ever lost a T20 was against India. That 2022 year was just so supreme for them. It makes me think if they're just generally one of the best sporting teams, let alone cricket teams in the history of the game. So this Australia team is no, honestly, joke to beat. So if India do something, they have to play out of their skin. What's been really impressive from India's point of view as well is the fact that they've done all right with the ball. I wouldn't say that they've done really well, but now's the big test against Australia. How are they going to curtail this batting lineup? Who can explode at any given moment of time? 31 for none in 4.5. In Australia, I don't know what they'll be happy with in terms of power play score, right? I mean, do you think they'll be happy with 45 for none sort of thing and then just set the tone for the rest of the innings?
See, if they don't lose a wicket, I think they'd happily take a 45, right? Because that gives you a platform to make those big runs later. I don't think they'd be too fussed about whether they're 40 or whether they're 50 at the end of the power play. As long as they don't lose a wicket, which is not very important for India. To pick up that wicket. Why it's important? Because the depth of the Aussie batting lineup is incredible, and to give them a platform like that, and every wicket that India takes, right, you slow them down for the next 9 balls at least.
True.
Right? And it's only 120 balls that you have to face. Right? Even if we don't bowl them out, if we can get a wicket every few overs and slow them down for the next 9 balls, that'll make a huge difference for the total at the end. Right? Which is the 175 that we want to avoid. If we want to avoid that, we have to pick those wickets here and there. It doesn't have to be in clusters. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but we can't let them keep going like this.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, the more wickets that they have at the back end, I think Australia can do some real damage. And even the other day when we were watching the England game, yes, we had them 40 for 3 after 7 overs, but I think, I'm not sure if it was Bish or Vaishali who made the point at the time, where those 3 overs after that cost us, where it went for 12, 11 and 17, and then the pendulum really kind of shifted in England's favour. So let's see. I mean, right now, it's not a very Aussie start. 32 for none, 5.1. It seems more like Smriti and Shefali batting in disguise. But Dipti's bowling her 3rd over in the power play. Thoughts about that tactically?
Yeah, I am not a big fan of it, if I'm honest.
Okay.
I like the control that she gives through the middle a little bit, and now we've left ourselves open to that. We don't have Pooja either, right? Who's one of the players we rely on. So, not ideal.
Oh no,
that looked like it was bad first, but maybe not
really.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of this, but the fact is, we have prevented Australia from getting away to a flyer.
True.
Right? Sure, we haven't got that wicket. We haven't kept them down to nothing, but we haven't let them get off to a flyer. So
that is true.
I think if there's a silver lining to take here, it's that they're only going at about 6 runs and over, which isn't the worst.
Yeah, and we've reviewed it. And Harmanpreet Kaur, typically in a Virat Kohli-esque manner, doing it 1 second before the DRS, and they've gone up here. This actually might not be such a bad review. We might all have
I'm saying it's out. If it's bad first, that's out.
Yeah. It gives you an impression there might be glove first if she tried to sweep it over there. Pranam Anand had a good question. We'll take his question as soon as we understand the result of this review. I think, I don't know, fingers crossed, it could be one of those
And if it is, it would be a wicket in the 6th over. And who said that will happen?
Oh, yes. The soothsayer that mission is. By the way, let's just feature Pranav Anand's comment before we take a look at this review right now. The original decision not out, of course. Was the impact in line? It was.
Impact's definitely in line, but that looks like it only got the glove, is it?
Oh, this might be a big wicket against the run of play.
That's bad. That's out.
Has it touched any of the bat?
Glove.
No.
Glove.
Oh, it's a little bit of a glove.
Yeah.
So India lose a review, but look, you kind of fancy your chances with the Australian openers right now. Any kind of half chance, if you sniff it, you'll go for it. Next, answer this from Pranav Anand then, because he goes on to say this is India's last chance of winning the T20 World Cup, you think, since the WPS is starting from this year onwards.
No, India will win. Why? India will win more. They are drawing parallels to the men thing that they haven't won since the IPL. But I think India will win a lot more once you have the Moonies, Healy's, and everybody retire. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the last success of the Australian team is because of the Women's Big Bash League, right? So with the Women's Premier League coming, she's threaded that through, and she's gonna get 3 here.
Yeah.
It's scooped back in. Well done. And they'll come back for 3. Right, so still even Stevens sort of power play. I know India would have probably liked a wicket or 2, but they've managed to keep the runs down, like Bish said, 35 for none, 5.3. If you're joining us right now, we do appreciate it. Let us know your comments below. Crick Insight was, of course, having his say in the previous watch long. It's good to see you once again, Crick Insight. He goes on to say, this time looks like a slow wicket. 150, 160 will be a tough chase. Today, we have to face Jess Johnson. India do struggle against her. Plus, India would not be ready for her. Smart planning for the Aussie team. Now, Jess Johnson, I think, is coming for Alana King, right? So, what's the thinking there for Australia? Is it, again, because she has a good record against India?
Yeah, I'm sure that's played a part because Alana King's done reasonably well herself and she's been in the team for a while. And
is any Australian bowler that we can target straight from the offset? Or
yeah, it's a great question. Great question. But I think that's part of the problem is that teams tend to play fairly conservatively against them because you don't know who to attack.
Oh, 1 second. Hold on. She's taken the aerial route and she's got 6.
Beautiful. They were trying to get 43.
They were trying to get 43. And, almost it was the inevitable release shot that Mooney had because she was, 12 of 12? 11 of 12. And this was always coming. So she's got Australia's first 6 of their innings. Not the most well-struck 6 you'll see, but still just plodding over the fence. So Australia needed that. Final ball of the power play. Let's see if these guys get their predictions true. In terms of scores, at least. I know they liked a wicket in this power play, but it wasn't a B. And a sloppy little misfield.
India trying to make it 43 as well.
Yeah, it's 43 exactly. So well done,
Please say the next thing. Please say 2 wickets falling in the next over.
It's quite crazy.
They almost got the wicket as well. Could have easily been 43 for 1.
That is true. That is true. I mean, is there any particular matchups right now for these two in particular, Mooney and Healy? Can we use, I don't know, maybe the left armour in Radha Yadav?
The left armour definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Against 2 right-hand batters that they've got going. They have to try something a bit different now. They definitely bowled Deepti an over more than they should have.
3 overs of Deepti. The power play is quite ridiculous.
And you would have normally got Deepti to bowl far more economically. Having bowled here, now she's gone for a few more. Like I said, but it's not too bad. 43 is not a huge score. And a couple of wickets here will still drag the game back and India will feel comfortable. So, so let's see how that goes. But I mean, I would agree with that. They should have rather other bowling now.
Because look, Sobesh was making this point next before, and he said because Pooja is not there, it gives us an option where we could probably play the left arm pacer. But that was never going to be an option because she was never tested throughout the tournament. So throwing in her in this match against Australia would have been a tough one. But would you have seen any merit in that because she brings something different?
Yeah, but then it would have been too big a call to take
exactly
in the knockout. So I don't think while it would have been very, very tempting, but practically did not see it happening. Not at that stage yet. Just as a unit as well to make a change like that. And again, if it was somebody who's played a lot and in very great rhythm, then she would have definitely been part of the side much before that. So that also it's the same case with Alana King and Jess Johnson. Like if you have someone who's ready with good numbers against your side, you'll definitely slot them into the team. But still an unknown commodity. There are already a lot of youngsters in this side in terms of their experience and matchups versus these fellows. So, yeah, too big a call to probably take for a knockout game.
India, remember, made changes for every game that they've played in this tournament, but some have been forced, like Bishan said today.
Yeah.
Pooja, of course, couldn't play because of that respiratory illness. Australia 45 for 2. 45 for none. Wishful thinking, sorry, just happening out of my head. 6.3 overs gone. The second semi-finals, England, South Africa, which is also going to be a good one. And South Africa getting in the points against Bangladesh, which they needed to, by the way. Otherwise, it would have been New Zealand who'd go through. Vamshi Varma Nampally. Haven't seen that name before on cricket.com. So if you are new, do subscribe, Vamshi. He goes on to ask, boys, why aren't our bowlers trying any short ball stuff? I mean, who can try short ball stuff?
Yeah, I think that's the problem. Unless you can get the ball right up to the chest, right? It's short balls, especially against an Australian batting lineup who are very comfortable.
But have you ever seen Renuka or Shikha do that, ever?
Or do they not? That's just not their style, I think.
They're not their style.
Yeah, that's not the approach that they usually work to get wickets or keep the runs down. I think it's really out of their comfort zone.
True.
It's partly got to do with the pace as well that they bowl at, right? And you have to also consider what is the opposition comfortable facing. If the ball doesn't climb up right up to the shoulder, the front shoulder, I think the Aussie batters are really going to, pump it to mid-wicket or square leg. So it's a fairly high-risk kind of option. And I would still advocate it if we'd gone for a whole lot of runs at this point, right? If we were a little bit desperate, we needed to experiment, maybe we'd do it. But to try something which is not your strong suit and is possibly the opposition strong suit, when they haven't really got away from us yet, I mean, I understand it.
I mean, the cricket.com predictor, I should say, is actually aligned with what the ICC website is reckoning right now in terms of 167 being the predicted total. But it just gives me a little bit of nervous vibes as an Indian fan right now, Nix, because they're 47 for none after 7. Now they can actually just go hell for leather even more because they have 10 wickets in hand, right? How will that all play out? Do you think India now actually need to start looking for wickets, or do you think we can play the waiting game, let them have 6-7 run overs, and then we'll take it from there?
They've been looking, Avnish. They've been looking.
Yeah, I think the thing is, as Bishan firstly also mentioned, that you haven't allowed them to get away. So there hasn't been anything like okay, this is bad bowling or something of that sort. So far they've had to take that extra effort to get the boundaries in. So I think that should continue, because you don't want to be the one who looks more desperate for the wickets, because you want them to feel the heat and make the error. So I'm sure we'll see Radha very soon now. So if she can stick to her strengths, she can get them to miss it. You get 2 wickets. Suddenly they are under more pressure that, okay, suddenly we are 55 for 2. And now how do we go about, pacing the knock again? So as Vishen had said, you take one, you push them back a bit. So that has to be, you stick to your plans, let them take risk. And the moment you see them taking more risk, that's when you try and your B and C and D plan that, okay, how do we go about, stopping them? Do we bowl wide, try and close out one area of the field? But I don't think it has gone to that stage just yet.
Absolutely. As we speak, Radha Yadav has been introduced into the attack, and straight away she's been just kind of, I mean, it's not her fault because that was just threaded through perfectly for 4. Australia get their 50 and another 50-plus stand between these two, Elisa Healy and Beth Mooney. Let's see how much Australia get. Many people reckoning about 175 in the comments below. Greg, good to see you. I agree with that point. Absolutely. I think it's been made and well documented across women's cricket and from experts worldwide. Greg K. Dude, how many ICC trophies Indian men team won after IPL? 0. Chance not having any of it. And Radha Yadav already kind of being targeted, you would say. Do you think Australia's batsmen now are going to be thinking, okay, surely one of these bowlers are going to be targeted? Is it going to be Radha?
Yeah, no. So Radha's come in here really to bowl at Healy. She unfortunately had to start to Mooney to the left-hander. It's not the ideal batsman for her to start to. And she started off bowling really flat. Right. The first ball was very flat and short. So
was that just a loosener?
Yeah, I was just going to say that you can't criticize a bowler too much for bowling.
Yes!
That's the
yes! I was just going to say, I have a feeling there's going to be a wicket. I know you could say that in hindsight, but get in there. Radha Yadav stuck, and again that slow loopy, slightly flat, like Vishen said. And what do you make of that innings? 26 ball, 25.
That's what Knicks wanted. Knicks wanted Healy in the 20s.
Yes, he's gone for exact average. So yeah, no. Again, 55 for 2, you get another here. It just opens the game up and then puts Australia under pressure that, okay, now let's just look for the bowler to hit, or how do you go about it? So it just puts India in the front seat that you can. The only thing I don't want India to do here is take it lightly in the next set of 6-7 balls. Don't give away easy singles. Just put the pressure, just more dots. Let them take the risk. They play a good shot. Credit to them. They have to play as well. So just take to that, and I think that should then hopefully take off from there.
Will Australia do something funky, boys, in terms of send, I don't know, maybe someone else because right now it's not the fastest of starts. Do you think they can send a pinch hitter?
I don't think they need to, because and if they do, it would make them seem desperate. What that will also do is increase the likelihood of a wicket falling for them, right? And you're now Australia in a fairly good situation. I mean, not a very fast start, but a good solid start.
True.
But you don't want to be 55 for 2, because that then means that the original number 3 batsman is going to have to come in and play even more defensively, right? And I don't think Australia want that. So you would expect to see, Lanning come into bat. So sure.
It is a captain, and let's see how she goes about her innings, because look, like Nick said, the next 6 to 7 balls is crucial. India got the wicket right now. I know Australia got off to a decent start, a sedate start, some would say, but if India get another wicket right now, it'll be absolutely brilliant, because sometimes wickets are like London buses. They don't turn up and then you get 2 in quick succession. Or I should just say Bangalore buses at times as well. This is pretty much a good start from the Indian women's team, says Chachant. Chachant, come on, keep the positive spirits, as well as Vikram Mohanty. All you guys are a bunch of moaners and groaners. I don't know, I'd like to call you guys realists, but sometimes you guys give me the vibes of pessimists. I know I'm an optimist, but we got to balance it out, I'm guessing, in these watch-alongs. But keep your comments coming through and subscribe. All you guys really, really appreciate the love and the support you've shown us doing these Women World Cup game watch-alongs. And we're going to be doing all the WPL watch-alongs. So rest assured, there's lots of content coming through. So 8 overs gone. Now let's see how India are going to be managing their bowling resources. Remember, there's still Sneha Rana. Radha Yadav, we just see her bowl 1 over. Dipti Sharma's bowled 3 already. Renika's bowled 2, and Shikha is bowled 2. Has she? I think Shikha's bowled 2 as well. Yeah. So, who are the other options that we have? I'm a cynic, not going to change my philosophy, saying Vikram Mohanty. Good to know, my friend. Good to know, Vikram. I mean, always see you in the comments being animated about something or the other, but it tells me that you are passionate about the game. That's what we want to see. Honestly, can't complain.
This situation that India's in right now, having just got this wicket, now we have to give ourselves small targets of where we want to be in the next 2 overs. Because now we have a little phase in the game where we have the upper hand. Right?
And so you want to in the attack.
You want to ideally keep them down to, if I was Indian captain now, to say 65 runs in 10 overs. Right? I mean, it's not an easy target, but that's the way we have to pull the game back. When we have an opportunity with a wicket here, keep it tight, keep slightly aggressive fields, and keep the runs down to say 65 in 10 overs, and that will give us a platform for the next 10.
Yeah. And Sneha Rana, of course, like we've just spoken about her in terms of what she's done so far in her little career with India, and she's always made an impact. We saw that even in that one-off test against England women's last year. Was it last year or last year? I'm not sure, but there was a chance. And the Australian captain has been put down by Richa Ghosh. That was a chance. It was a sharp chance. And Sneha Rana already kind of causing problems. I mean, you can't blame Richa, but
I think it's a thick edge. It's a very thick edge.
It's one of those straightforward.
Very tough chance.
It hits her on her arm, which
would
is quite
55
mad.
for 2.
It could have been 55 for 2. Yeah, absolutely. It can still be 55 for 2. Ooh, it was the arm ball. And again, India, come on, we can't afford these little misfields. They'll come back for 3, or do you think they'll stick with 2? They'll stick with 2. And it's these small little moments of the game where India really can't falter. So let's see how that goes. Pranav Anand, we'll just take your comment before we, of course, take Chachance, who says, it could have been a huge wicket. Pranav going on to see Yadav's first ball wasn't a loose. I think she was smart enough to shorten her length as Beth jumped out. Batter adjusted. I think she watches the batter till last. Gets Healy similarly as well.
Fair call.
It's a no ball. No, I can't understand why spinners bowl no balls. That shouldn't be allowed.
You sound like Sunil Gavaskar.
Yeah, I know. But the other day I was actually looking at Nathan Lyon's record in tests, and he's not pulled a single no ball, Bish. For someone like him who's got 463 wickets or whatever, every spinner should take a page out of him. Yeah. I mean, come on. I understand why fast bowlers overstep because sure they always like the extra inch, but come on. No puns there, by the way. No puns there whatsoever. Keep your comments coming through. Tell us how much you guys think India are going to restrict Australia to. Free hit. It's a wicket. No run there as well. It's a very smart over from Sneha Rana. I think she's mixed her lengths up and paces up so far, even though just early indications. Get Mooney out ASAP. She'll score 80 plus and take the game away from India, reckons SS98. I hope not.
It looks a bit like the Aussie batters aren't picking the length at all. I think Sneha Rana is getting it to dip, and they aren't picking it. Both those shots, the back foot nick, because she was on the front foot and had to make an adjustment last minute, and the sweep, she thought the ball was much further from her. So it looks like they're struggling to pick her a little bit, which is good to see. So she may eventually get more overs than I initially said if she keeps bowling the way she is bowling.
Yeah. Next, where do you put Sneha Rana in terms of the pecking order? I know India have a lot of spin bowling all-rounders, Dipti, Radha, the others who come to mind, of course. I think Sneha Rana is one of them. Where does she sit in terms of Indian women's cricket right now in terms of being the all-rounder that she is?
We know who's number one. We can start at 2.
Yeah, we can start at 2.
She takes the second. Some bias for off-spinning batters, and she was my captain in the debut test that she had, and it was a great game for me in that sense as well. Again, see, the problem is you have so many options, but it's about the usage. We've talked about this in the past. Sometimes even having so many options is a problem because you're not able to use them well. So again, we've ranted a lot about Sneha Rana should have been part of this setup in much before even the injuries are put aside. So hopefully we see that in the coming times, because I think she's going to play a key part for India going ahead in, I would say, all 3 formats of the game.
Yeah, it just baffles us even more the fact that she wasn't in the original squad. And that's what Cricket said. Just to answer your question, she wasn't available to play in that England game because that injury didn't happen to anyone yet. Pooja got the injury, and hence Sneha Rana has been added in. She walks into the 11 as well. So hence, it could be a blessing in disguise for India. As much as Pooja Vastakar is a huge player for us, I think Sneha Rana offers us something different. And she's done really well in her first over, just conceding the 5. Radha will continue right now, 60 for 1, 9.1. So right now, the game is pretty precariously poised. It's not that any team has kind of run away with it. We expected Australia to go slightly harder, but I think give credit to the Indian bowlers so far as well, right? Vish?
No, definitely.
Or has the pitch also kind of...
Yeah, I was just coming to that. So I think the pitch is definitely a little bit on the slower side. I'd still say a fairly good surface to bat on.
Yeah.
And I think, again, you may find that the fact that we have an extra spinner here could eventually help us.
Yeah.
Not if you bowl full tosses. You don't need a pitch for that.
Mooney puts it in the gap for 4, and Radha knows it. So Australia moving on to 65 for 1, is it? Yeah, 64 for 1. Go on, Vish.
They still have 4 balls to keep it inside that 65 that we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so I think the pitch is playing a part. And the fact that Australia still have a whole lot of pacers still in their team could help India when they bat.
Yeah.
And I was going to make this point earlier. The thing with the current Indian team is that there are a lot of batters who can play attacking aggressive cricket, who have the ability to take the attack to Australia, which you couldn't say for Indian teams in the past who routinely were resoundingly thrashed by the Australians, right?
Yeah.
I don't think...
Put down, what a chance. And they will regret that if Mooney goes on to score more runs. And they can't believe it. Radha Yadav can't believe it. I was just peering down to check out the cricket.com app for all the stats. But this is straightforward, Bish. You can't be doing this against Australia.
Not only was it a drop, it was 4.
So it's an insult to injury. And Shefali Verma needs to take those next. I mean, it's, again, the fundamentals, the basics. That's why we pull our hair out as fans watching this. Do you think that'll be a costly drop? Just gut feel?
I think she'll give another chance very soon. So hopefully they take that so that it doesn't count much. But again, this has been a problem with the side. For all the talent and potential that you have, this is definitely a controllable. And it wasn't even a tougher one. I mean, the Richa Ghosh one was definitely a lot more tougher than, that you will say that you'll not take it very often. But this is like you have to take 20 times out of 10. You cannot, there are no reasons to not take it. As simple as that.
It just looked like she took it very casually because there was plenty of time for her to get her entire body behind the ball there. But she took it side on and left it open. If in other situations, if you had your body behind it, even if it was a drop, you'd have still, could have popped up and got a second chance and would certainly not have been 4.
Oh, yeah.
This, she really took it easy and it burst through and went all the way. So, I mean, basics not being done right here.
Hard hands and SS98 going on to lambast Shefali Verma, saying chokes in batting and now fielding when matters the most. Angry face after angry face emotion. I mean, there's some of the sort of things that make fans look at it and be like, oh my God, why can't they take those? But look, every kind of sportsman goes through ups and downs, and we saw one right now. These silly mistakes is what separates India from Australia. Yeah, I could say that. If you really want to win the World Cup, these errors can't be made. I know some teams get away with it, but let's see how much Mooney gets from now. She was dropped to about 32. So I think one of the comments said that she might get an 80 plus. Hopefully that doesn't come true. But Australia right now, 69 for 1 after 10. Given that they've got this start, how much are they thinking right now? What's the chat in the Australian dressing room? Because they have Talia McGrath, they have Perry, they have Gardner, they have just, I mean, lots of batters to come through. So what would they be happy with? 170? They got 170 plus against New Zealand, right?
Yeah, they did. And I think from this situation, you would expect Australia to want to score 8.5 runs and over at the back end, maybe 9 runs and over at the back end.
Yeah.
Right. So 90 to the 70 is a 160 odd. You would expect they would want to score nothing less than 165.
Yeah.
I would say from here. And India would want to keep them down to something like 155. I think that's the small difference. Australia would hope to get more, of course, 170, 175.
Yeah.
But anything more than 165, I think they'd be fairly happy.
Okay. Cricket Inside going on to say what would be the score India would be comfortable. Chase, we discussed that. We just kind of alluded to it right now. Anything around 160 should be down the alley of that Indian women's team. But it depends on the start with Shefali and Smriti.
They'd be comfortable chasing 140.
Yeah.
They'd have a chance chasing 160. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the 20-run window also comes in because of the kind of pitch in terms of how it's played. So I don't think it began at the start. We did not feel that it is probably holding up a bit because Sneha got a couple to jump and they were deceived by that length. So if it is holding a bit, they still have somebody who's been a kryptonite for this side for a while and she's coming to the team. So, but at least a target of 150 allows them to maneuver that phase better. But if it is more than 160, you'll need a very good start from the top 2. If with 140, 145, you can afford to have a cameo of sorts that can just keep you back on the rate.
Okay. Just for context, I mean, I think 150 plus has been chased only 2 times ever in the Women's T20 World Cup, right?
Yeah.
So we must remember context for we can't equate it to the men's game and we imagine 160 as an easy target, conditions irrelevant. But in the women's game, the scores are very different. That's just the nature of the game. So 160 is a big score, right? And if Australia get 160, they are in the driver's seat, just that India have a chance of making it.
Okay, let's see how that really unfolds, because it makes me think about Australia's modus operandi today, right? They won the toss, they decided to bat first. Bish, out of their 4 group games, 3 came while chasing. They batted first against New Zealand in their opener, and they absolutely dismantled them. Do you think that was the thinking today from Meg Lanning and company? Win the toss, bat first, scoreboard pressure, all of those cliches that we associate with the game?
Yeah, see, I don't think it's a difficult decision to bat first in a knockout game.
Okay.
Right? Unless the conditions, it's a cloudy day or the conditions really are conducive to bowling first, which is clearly not the case here.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's a beautiful shot, by the way. Sorry. Yeah. Beth Mooney She might really make India pay for that little drop chance that we saw the last over. And if there's any boundary really pleasing the eye, I think it's this one, because she just nonchalantly steps down, inside out, and she's got the play spin and the timing spot on. And Australia may have now just decided to go into fourth gear, maybe fifth gear, because they have wickets. Like Bish and Nix have been saying, they are trying to eye 160, 165 plus, and they're 75 for 110.3. Vikram Mohanty going on to say, nope, even 130, 140 will be difficult against this well-balanced Australian team. Don't forget, we couldn't chase down 150 against England, losing 6 times against them. Yeah, that's the record, by the way. Most times we've ever lost to a team. Most time anyone's lost to a team in a World Cup, it's India to England. Akash Yadav, good to see you in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. We don't want Grace Harris, Ashley Gardner, Talia McGrath at the crease. Please hold them and don't take the wickets. Keep good economy. Is there any strategic drops that we think of? No, right? I mean, because all of them are kind of hard, heavy players. There's no one in particular who does a heavyweight lifting, right? I mean, all of them can really pack a punch. I know Ash Gardner and Talia McGrath are just sensational, but other names as well.
But in T20 cricket, I mean, there is no way to contain the runs unless you take wickets. There is no way you can keep a team down to, regardless of who's batting. Once you're in, once you've played a few balls, batsmen like Mooney and Lanning especially, right? There's no way that you can keep the economy rate down if you don't take wickets. So that's a must do. If we don't, let's say we don't pick another wicket, I'd like to think over here what Nick says as well. I think they'd score 180 plus, 190. If India don't take a wicket from here, what do you think Australia will score? Next.
Yeah, definitely. So, and the problem with me is Dipti has bowled 3. Again, I might sound biased here, but that 1 over is going to be very crucial because she's someone who you can't just attack for the sake of it. She'll get you out, like she did in the game against West Indies. She's very smart that way. And now the moment they start to put pressure on, say, in the next over, then you're forced to get a pacer back. And then suddenly Australia are the one who are dictating how India is going to bowl their overs. And the moment they hit 3-4 boundaries in an over, then see, it's very easy to lose the wheels out once.
So when do you think Harman will throw the ball to Dipti next? Again, penultimate over, or do you think she might have an over coming up soon?
Like, given how she used it, won't be surprised if it's very soon. I hope not. I hope it is post the 15th over mark, because you still have 4 very crucial overs coming up, and you ideally want a couple of wickets there to just slow them down. Just keep it to a realistic target, that because if they get to 170, the team will feel the pressure. And because they won't end at 170. The likes of batters that they have the license to go every ball, and then it's very scary. And again, it's the hallmark of a great side, right? You give them a chance, they'll pouch it with both hands. So, Pandey.
It's just this element of luck as well. I mean, that was a decent ball from Shikhar Pandey, but somehow Beth Mooney has eked it through past short third man for 4, and she's moving on pretty quickly after that drop catch. I think Fun Wids went on to say in the comments, saying, why didn't Shikhar throw in the dive? The previous ball which went for 4. I think Shikhar's maybe the only liability that we have in the field. I mean, the others, of course, have their pros and cons, but Shikhar, because she's the slightly older one, I don't think she was going to risk a dive with that particular thing. But good point and good observation mentioned over there.
I think the only Indian fielder, maybe 2, who you can be sure would put in the dive.
Oh, that is cheekiness if there ever was. That's a brilliant shot. And that's 50. And what a way to bring up 50. Beth Mooney just going from strength to strength. And she was dropped to 32. She's got 20 since then. And that too in quick time. It's worrying signs for India, Vish.
Certainly is.
Hopefully, she gets out on the average like Healy did. Healy got for the average of 24. She got out on 25. She averages around 55 batting first. So hopefully, her wicket is around the corner.
She made that shot look incredibly easy. But, I mean, you played the game. Nix has played the game. That's ridiculous.
And what's even more amazing about that shot is she didn't start off wanting to play it on the offside.
Yeah.
That was certainly a ball that she wanted to play behind her on the leg side, and then realized the ball was on the offside and changed the shot.
Yeah.
So that's even more incredible. Extremely, extremely complicated shot to play.
Improvisation at its best. Jachant going on to say England tactically didn't get Rohit and Virat out during the middle over phase in the 2022 World Cup semi-finals because they knew Surya could have hurt their spinners. Yeah, it's something to consider, but I don't think teams will ever look at that way in the sense, okay, fine, let these 2 batters go around it because what's to follow is going to be even more powerful. Oh, is that a no ball? I hope not. But Australia will... good fielding in the deep. Good fielding in the deep. Don't know who that is.
Yastika's my guess.
No, it's Radhika Thakur. Australia have the license up. Boys expect 185, 190. They have all the balls in the world to play like this. True. That's what is scary right now, because even if they're, say, 130 after the 15th over, they can really tee off from there. Given that Dipti has 1 over remaining, given that there is, of course, going to be lots of spin till the end of this innings, because we have 3 more overs of space after this over. So it makes you think about how much Australia are going to get. Subscribe if you guys are watching right now. We're going to be having different faces in the second innings as well, where Charlie joins us. Oh, wicket! Wicket! And the Indian women would absolutely take that. I mean, it was Beth Mooney who was going gung-ho, literally. 88 for 2 now, and that's a good wicket, Bish.
And Shefali dropped her and caught her.
Timely. Next is fighting.
Another batter got out on the exact average that they have.
That is true. Shefali wasn't dropping that. No, I don't want to say what Shefali said, but I love it. If you guys watch that, you guys would know. I mean, generally, you'd love it when there's some sort of animosity, heat under the collar and all of those things, and she just sent her off verbally, which is good to see. So India striking 88 for 2, but now is when the Aussie fireworks start. Who do we want to see? Is it going to be Gardner? Is it going to be Talia McGrath? Is it going to be Elise Perry? I mean, honestly, it's a joke. I mean, it's scary. And 12 overs.
I don't know if we want to see anybody.
I don't want to see anyone. Don't want to see any of them.
You just want them to come and go. That's all. If you want to put it that way, you want all of them to come and all of them to go very quickly in the next 8 hours.
Absolutely.
So now, in terms of the bowling options, guys, we've of course had how many bowlers
bowl? 2 overs of Renuka and 1 of Shikha left.
Right.
There's 1 of Deepti left. That's 4.
So essentially, Shikha Pandey is done with her 3rd over. 89 for 2 after 12. She's conceded 20 and taken the wicket that you just saw right now. So India have stuck with their 5-bowler ploy, which is not something that they normally do, at least in this tournament. Do you think that'll be the similar thing they're going to do for the next 8 overs, as in not introduced anyone else? I know they still have, who else can they throw the ball to? Harman and Shefali and all of them, but they're not going to bowl, right?
Yeah.
So you think it'll be these?
All the bowlers who bowled so far have done a reasonably good job.
Yeah, decent job.
Right? So
no one's gone above more than 8.5.
Which we have to always keep comparing, is a lot in women's cricket.
Yeah.
Right? 8.5 is, which means you're heading towards a 165 score if everyone gives 8.5. So it's just that Australia haven't got off to a flyer. Right? They haven't blasted India out of the park yet. 2 wickets here could still mean that the score is inside 150. That's all we're seeing at this point. It could easily become a 180 score, but we're still in the game. A wicket here and a wicket there will keep Australia down to 150.
Let's see how that goes across, because Ashley Gardner's come out now to give Meg Lanning company. Meg Lanning's not really looked threatening. She's faced the 9 balls for her 7, and Sneh Rana into her 3rd over. Australia 90 for 2. Remember, they chose to bat after winning the toss. And I love the celebration for Shefali. Brilliant to see that, especially given the absolute, the large nature of this particular game, that lots of people are watching this, hoping that the women's really kick on, because if they do, it'll be brilliant. 12.2 overs, 90 for 2. Gardner, McGrath, Perry, someone get a hat-trick, please. Parried away. Do you think that will go for 4? It might just be pulled back in by Shefali.
What I particularly liked about the Shefali celebration is that she was waiting for the ball to come to her. When a player drops a catch, you're nervous about the next one that comes to you. Shefali didn't look one bit nervous. When the ball was in the air, she knew she was going to catch it. And she almost celebrated before she caught it. She was waiting to do something. She really wanted to be in the game. And
stumped! Stumped, is it?
Did she collect the ball cleanly? There's no.
Surely they're going to go upstairs.
No big appeal.
No big conviction from Sneh Rana or Richa Ghosh, but they're definitely going to clarify.
My feeling is she didn't collect it. Because if she collected it, there should have been a stumping there.
And she would have definitely been more animated than she's looking right now. Nix, what do you feel? Stumping, no stumping?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't look confident in the first go, so that
Yeah.
kind of gave away that it wasn't quite the cleanest of things. But
But it's again a brilliant ball, just
yeah, best bowler
sucking the
Sneha.
action through.
Yeah, she didn't collect that.
Yeah,
Oh, and she takes it off quite late. So another chance. Was it Meg Lanning dropped as well? Was it?
No,
no.
she swept, but I don't think it carried.
Yeah.
Oh, correct. So definitely not an edge. So a stumping chance goes begging, you would think. Yeah, Richard just touch short on that. So no wicket there, but look, still decent proceeding so far from Team India. I mean, you'd say that because Australia's so good. You take anything right now under 150, under 160, and it depends solely on Shefali and Smriti as well. I'm hoping Shefali actually does good things with the bat this time around.
You're going to hear more of what you just heard if she does.
Yeah, I think people are definitely going to heckle in the comments below. Not a wicket there for sure, but Sneha getting another dot ball in. She's bowled decently well, just conceding above 6 in her 2.4 overs. Let's see if she can finish off this over pretty well. 2 balls left, and Meg Lanning, I think now will definitely be going for it. There will be release shots. That's a wide. We can't afford extras. That's what will hurt fans across watching this as well. The fact that all these small little basic things, let's just do it right. No misfields, no extras, none of that fluff. Obviously, these would expect to kind of be taken, but again, another half chance goes begging. All you guys do watch our women's cricket show, which is a weekly thing with Anisha Ghosh and Shweta Haranhali. They previewed this game. Some exciting insights from Anisha and Shweta, who've covered women's cricket for the longest time. So give them some love and check out their episode. And they will be putting out one after the World Cup as well. So that's something for you guys to watch out on the cricket.com YouTube page. And check out our website. We've been doing lots of good things. We've redesigned our app as well. So positive signs indeed. Oh, there's another misfield. And this is where you're just going to be losing your mind. Nix doesn't like it. Bish is also shaking his head.
I want to say, who do we think is India's best fielder? I think it's Jemmy. What do you guys think?
I think it's Harleen, even though she's not playing. Oh, in this 11.
Yeah, I mean, I guess generally, but Harleen's a fair shout.
Yeah, I would say Jemmy.
My call was Jemmy, yeah. Nix?
I felt Radha is good, but again, it's kind of putting it off, because again, these are the things that you can definitely do much better. It just helps the team just feel much better about whatever chances comes your way. So
yeah, and Sneha just showed some disappointment at Richa not catching the previous one, and then now she herself lets one through.
Yeah. So Radha Yadav again, brilliant bowling there. She really slowed it down. And I think it's a point that one of the guys made in the comments below, saying that Radha literally saw the batsman coming down and assessed it earlier. Abhinav Gupta saying India under 19 took some blinders, fielded exceptionally well in their final. Yeah, positive signs ahead, indeed. Radha Yadav, again, very slow, trying to induce the false shot from the batsman over there. Guys, so many mistakes in the field. Why no improvement in this? I think even in terms of the fielding, right, Jemmy, Harleen are the more athletic ones because obviously they have age on their side. But is there anyone who you see gives you a lot of conviction with their catching?
Yeah, I felt Radha is that kind of. She's also always standing in the long offs and the hot spots with respect to field. So yeah, I think she's the one who I feel is one of the better catchers. Let's put it that way. One of the better catchers.
Harman's usually fairly safe as well.
Yeah, she's safe as well.
Yeah,
but I do see her more in the ring kind of start.
Correct.
Of course, unless it's the end overs. But I think in hotspots, probably observe Radha more than the others.
Oh, another misfield. Honestly, I think we've conceded about 78 runs, maybe more in terms of misfield. So even if you do the math, I think 90 for 2, India would have taken that after close to the 14th over. But look, Australia could really take the game away with a couple of good overs. Let's see how much they get. We'll make the final score predictions on the 15th over mark so the boys can think about their predictions and the reasons as to why they think Australia are going to get that much, or maybe not. But I don't know.
If you count the cost of the drops, it's way more than 7-8. I think it's like more like 25.
More than 25. Because Mooney was at 32, she got 20 after that drop. This is pulled away and just another single. It's a good over from Radha. She's done well so far. 3 overs, 1 for 22, and just 5 of that over. And India's slowly just getting through their overs. I think their over rate is pretty good, so they won't have.
They're currently 1 over behind.
Are they 1 over behind?
They're 1 over behind.
Oh.
So they will still have a 20th over with a fielder less on the boundary as of now. But the good thing is with spinners bowling, and there's a chance we can still pull that rate back.
That is true. So, is there no Jadeja in our team in terms of fast bowlers to get their overs? I mean, I think in the Australian Test series, Jadeja bowled an over which was like 87 seconds.
Wow.
I mean, talk about just giving no time. And
in the innings break, if you want, I'll give you a very great anecdote about getting overs through. In one of my stints as text commentator, Sri Lanka bowled 87 overs in 2 sessions. 87 overs in 2 sessions.
That is
ridiculous. Again, maybe that has just set the tone for me to typing well, but we'll discuss that in the innings break, not now.
87 overs, that's incredible. That's madness. By the way, Sneha Rana continuing her final over, and she's been swept really well. And Australia with that 4 get up to 103 for 2 and 14.1 overs. So really, it is now how much can they get? And keep your comments coming through, your predictions as well. Ritvik Gautam went on to say 177. Vikram Mohanty being pessimistic, saying anything above 140 means India will have to play out of their skin. 104 for 2, 14.2. So even if you go by the current rate, they will get somewhere around 150. That's a given, I feel, given the Australian batting depth. But it could be a case where India just pick up a flurry of wickets to the back end and get the momentum going.
The way we're going right now, even if they...
Oh my God. Jemima Rodriguez, literally, she was like, what's happening? I think she's just running towards long on to switch positions. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like
I thought there was an on-field emergency based on that.
Yeah, the way she started to run was quite ridiculous. Trying to be swept again, and she gets 4. And this is really frustrating. Every boundary, at least 4 of the ones I can count at the top of my head, Australia have just managed to get it past the fielder, but they'll take it. 108 for 2 now.
This is not a matter of luck. I mean,
do you think this was intentionally fine?
No, but both the balls that have gone for 4 this over have been bad balls bowled outside the leg stump. Sure, you can say they got lucky, but we didn't help ourselves either by bowling down the leg side. So
true. And someone like Gardner, and of course Lanning, it's like bread and butter for them.
There's clearly a fair bit of turn. I mean,
there is.
Sneha Rana is the only one who's turning it that much, but she is getting a fair bit of turn, which is also why you're seeing the leg side balls, because they're turning a little bit more than she wants them to. She hasn't put it enough outside off stump. She's finding it hard to control the turn. It's spinning a fair bit.
Yeah. The last ball of Sneha Rana's 4-over spell this, and she's conceded 29, and it will be 33 she concedes because Meg Lanning pierces the gap in the offside again. In Australia, 113 for 2, 15 overs gone. So 5 overs left, boys. What are we going for in terms of the final score prediction? 50 runs from here means 163, which is still okay, but we know that they're going to get more than 50, Bish.
So, I'm saying 50.
50 flat, 163?
I'm saying 50, yeah.
Nix, more or less?
There is a bit of optimistic Indian fan there. So, 166 for 6.
166 for 6?
Nix, if they get 6 wickets, they're not getting 166.
Or do you think
they can keep attacking, na? They'll keep attacking, lose a wicket only at the end of the over, maybe. There's no need for them to just be cautious now. It's like you can go every ball. There is so much batting to come. You have Perry, you have Megara, you have Harris, enough firepower, and these two of course have found the gaps very easily. So,
and even when they don't find the gaps, we give them runs.
So we are helping them out. So hopefully they'll also help us out with a few wickets, maybe.
And one theme which has been constant so far is the missed fields, and we'll of course probably get our stats man Ani to tell us how many runs have of course India conceded in that regard. Oh, and Radha Yadav just trying to be cheeky and make sure that landings in her crease at the time of her releasing a ball. 115 for 2, 15.1. If Nicks goes on to get his prediction right, 166 for 6, he says, that means 53 of the final 5 with 4 wickets to fall. That will be eventful indeed if that does happen. SS98 saying 170 for 4. I
can't see 170 from here.
I would...
No, 170, sorry. I thought you were saying 180. My bad.
I would say 160. Jesus.
Yeah,
I would
like
say
we're all in the
160
same
flat.
range. Yeah, I think
Yeah, we're all in the same range, like touch and go,
160s.
163, 166, 160 as well.
I can't see Australia scoring less than 150 from here. I just can't see it.
Yeah.
There's only 33 runs and 4 odd overs to go. But it doesn't seem like a pitch where you can hit back-to-back boundaries. It is coming on a bit slowly. It's not conducive to big hitting. So, there is. Okay, it's a 4. Yeah, so I can't see it happening, back to back because it's not conducive to it. So I can't see 4 12-run overs coming either.
Yeah.
Which is why I think all of us have got scores in that range somewhat. Yeah.
Akash Yadav going on to say, guys, Sneha Rana got 2 times Meg landing, but if you don't take chances, then what to do? Yeah, it was hard chances, but should have been taken. The stumping and, of course, the copy and chance as well. Both Richa Ghosh should have done better, but look, let's see if Richa could come good with a bat later on when India chase. Now, Ash Gardner seems to me like she's going to really take to this Indian bowling right now. She's 15 of 10 and make that 19 of 11. She's got inside out right now. And Radha Yadav is not having a good final over, guys, because she's conceded 12 with a ball to go. And Gardner's 19 of 11. Samish Santosh, good to see you this evening. Good evening, sir. What score should we assume we are in a cheap zone, and then anything beyond right might be a tough one? Again, similar. 160, 165, Samish. I mean, if you're joining us right now, then probably rewind earlier because Nix and Bisham predicted their scores. 163 said Bish, and 166 said Nix. And again, no man's land, or shall I say no woman's land, in terms of the luck going Australia's way. So 126 for 2, 16 gone. Australia getting 13 off that over. And now is when they can really cash in terms of just going berserk. And then it makes you think that they can also get the momentum heading into that particular second innings. And it's going to be super important that the Indian women get off to a flying start. All their power plays have been around that 40 score. So I hope that they get even a 51 6 overs. I'll take it. I would absolutely take it any
There's actually a complicated situation for any batting team. The one Australia is in right now. I mean, teams have to face it match after match, but I don't think it's ever an easy decision.
Yeah.
When you have 2 set batters going into the bottom 5, and so many wickets in hand, do you go hell for leather? Because the obvious answer you tend to think is, another boundary.
Another boundary. And Renika Thakur starting her penultimate over. Again, 4 more for Australia. So Gardner's really come on and been the catalyst that she always is. 13 balls that she's faced and she's got 24. But again, another give me buffet ball.
Yeah, so all that I was saying only makes sense if the bowler's asking questions of the batter, right? Then there is a choice to be made. Do I have to play shots? Do I not? Right? But if these in your sleep will be hit for 4, that's a much better ball. If that goes for 4, well done.
It goes for 4. Yeah. It goes for 4. I mean, that is quite sumptuous in terms of stroke play from Gardner. And it's almost willpower, Nick. It's like Ashley Gardner can choose and dictate where she wants to hit the bowler rather than, kind of other way around.
Yeah, one of the best batters that they have in terms of acceleration that she can do. Again, she can bowl at the end. She is the Dipti Sharma of Australia. Let's put it that way. But
is it more timing or power with Ashley Gardner?
I think she can definitely. I think she's a bit of both. But the thing is, she's able to find the gap so easily that she doesn't always have to rely on the power, which is something that you see with a lot of these Aussie batters. You saw that with Mooney. Healy, at times you do feel that if there's no pace, she can still have the power. But most of them still get in a good positions to get those gaps. So I think that really helps them just accelerate how much as you want. I mean, I'm just hoping that Talia doesn't come out to bat with a lot of time left. That's my last scary hope.
I agree. I fully agree with you. I think one of the guys in the comments saying Renika isn't a death bowler, but look, we have to go with it. We've stuck with 5 bowlers so far in the day. We're going to go in that route by the looks of things. Vikram Mohanty also going on to say things like, come on, guys, get serious with this particular thing. To be specific, he says, do you still think the score wouldn't touch 170 if they score boundaries to this? Come on or come home. Oh, there's a mix-up here. And throw's been at the wrong end. And again, Jemima just...
No, 170 is very possible. Nobody is saying they won't get 170. All the predictions here are 163, 165, 170 is a few runs away. That's very possible.
That is possible. Doubt. 136 for 2 right now. Guys, winning and losing this game is only Harmanpreet Kaur. Dude, Harmanpreet, I mean, like Bish said, she hasn't really fired this World Cup. She got like crucial runs in that Pakistan game. She has a good record against Australia. Harman could be the key and could be playing that captain's knock that we all want her to play in a chase. But we had this conversation, at least I did, with Nick Sidrada and Vaishali at the time. And I'm not sure if you were there, Bish, but I asked them, would you expect us to rather chase in the semi-final or defend the all without batting an eyelid set chase? Would you go down that theory as well, by better chasers?
We may be better chasers, and I think that's true. But in a big game like a semi-final, against a team like Australia, and I said this at the very start as well, who can bat you out of the game, and they're on the verge of doing that at this point, right? It doesn't matter if you're a good chasing team. There is just too much pressure in a game like this to score 170.
True.
Right? So you may be as good as you want, but it's not happened in T20 cricket in World Cups. Teams don't chase 150 plus. You can be as good as you want. But against Australia in a World Cup semi-final, bat first any day.
Yeah, and you have to play out of your skin to really get the job done in a semi-final, in a high-octane, high-pressure game and all of that. Now, Deepti Sharma, who's Nick's favorite ever cricketer, does get to bowl her final over right now. So let's see if this is going to be pulling the game back a little bit for India. We'd all love a couple of wickets here so that the total gets reduced at least by 10 runs or so. Pranav Anand going on to say, the way Australia's batters have used their feet, I'm sure their men's team is watching the game. There's something for Andrew McDonald and company to take note of. Well done, Pranav, honestly.
Yeah,
and we want
they're not facing Jadeja and Ashwin. That's the only problem.
Yeah, which is madness. Dipti Sharma trying to outfox Lanning, but Lanning's not seeing it well. Even though she's been kind of all right, playing second fiddle early right throughout. Why is Kaur not bowling? She had like a little shoulder problem.
And she hasn't generally been bowling that much for India in the recent past.
Is that because she has so many options?
She has on most occasions. I mean, today I don't think she has a proper sixth bowler that she could bowl.
Has she kind of given herself the ball that much being captain? I don't think so, right?
She hasn't. Very smart by Deepti.
Very smart. Very smart. I mean, Dipti is almost like Ashwin. We made that comparison where she's student of the game, outthinker. Both, of course, like to do certain things which not many do in the game.
Always in the rules of the game.
Within the rules of the game, of course. 1 bounce and no boundary yet. So good going this from Dipti. 4 balls she's bowled. She just conceded 4. And we take it right now, honestly. And I agree with Nick. The fact that no Talia McGrath, not yet at least, is a good sign. Sorry, Nick, you were going to say something?
Just hoping for a wicket.
Just hoping for a wicket. Oh, you got your wicket!
Hope again!
You got your wicket! And it was perfect. I mean, Ashley Gardner, she could have really played this if she wanted.
But that means Talia McGrath's coming in next. You can't win, can you?
Yeah, I can't win.
No, but see, another batter has gotten out for the same average. Healy 25-24, Mooney 55-54, and Gardner 34 and 31. It's very close. So yeah, let's go down. Let's go down that way.
Great stat you've been tracking there, Nick.
No, absolutely. And
that's the silly thing, you know. When nothing works, all this works.
So Dipti getting a wicket, I think that'll do Nick's world of good, at least in his fantasy teams. Many of you all surely picking Dipti as well. So she's got a wicket, and let's plug things back a little bit. Onina Ryan, who was very chatty in the comments the last time along. Good to see you this time as well. He goes on to say, so poor whole tournament, as I said. We just got lucky, even though we had so many below par performances.
Yeah, that Ireland game is a big example of that, I think. They got really lucky to get a win out of that one. I mean, they may eventually have won that game. Yeah, we may eventually have won that game. But despite getting those 2 early wickets, we let Ireland have 3 overs of 10, 11 and 12 runs or something like that, which allowed them to get away, and we could have easily lost. 5 more runs could have easily come from anywhere when the rain stopped. So
that is true. 142 for 3 then, guys. 18 overs gone. Dipti doing fantastically well in that over. 5 runs conceded and the wicket of Ashley Gardner. And it's not Talia McGrath, it's Grace Harris who's come out to bat. So at least no nightmares yet for Indian fans in this final 2 overs of the 12 balls. SS98 saying, get John T. Rhodes as a fielding coach after the World Cup. He reckons just add a little bit more vigor and quality in terms of the Indian women's fielding out there. Talia McGrath, 30 ball 10.
But no, just to look back at that ball from Dipti, just so smart of her to just fire it in at the low base of off stump. It is just smart thinking. She knows the batter is waiting for anything to just make room off, and she gets it very spot on. Again, without the bias, one of the best bowlers that you have today.
For sure. Vikram Mohanty targeting his comment at you, Nix, going on to say, you might be a jinx for Australia. Say those things again when India's batting off captain in favor of India. Yeah, that's true. Oh, nearly she's stopped the boundary, but in vain. So Australia start off this over pretty well. And Grace Harris now will look to add the final touches to what's been a decent batting effort from Australia. They would have obviously liked more, but 146 for 3 in 18.1. How much can they get in their last 11 balls? We think it might be 163, 166. Guys, do you know the Women's Big Bash League 2021? Harman was a player of the tournament, including 15 wickets. She is a good bowler.
No doubt she's a good bowler. No one's disputing that. It's just that she hasn't been bowling that much for India. I wish she did, because it's like for the Indian men's team, we've had so many bowlers who started their careers bowling a fair bit. Sehwag, Rohit Sharma, Yuvraj Singh, Raina were all pretty good bowlers when they started playing. But as they went on, I suppose if you want to be a batter, an out-and-out batter, then I suppose you naturally focus a little bit less on your other skill, right? And which is what is happening, as I guess, with Harman as well, especially since she's not been
bowled him.
Fantastic.
Bowled him. It was a slow ball from Shikha Pandey, and she's saying, get me something for my cramps that I'm suffering right now, even though I've got the wicket. 148 for 4. So Grace Harris coming in, 4 ball 7. You can't really expect more from her at this stage of the innings, but India would take that just to put the brakes on the scoring a little bit. And it was a good slow ball. So you mentioned the point over there about Harmanpreet not bowling that much, but I guess that answers Akash's query or comment, really. And off late, it's not very often that we've seen Harman with the ball. Many people pointed towards injuries. Maybe it's the captaincy. Maybe she's just underusing herself because now she's realized she's got Shafali who can bowl. Radha, there's Rajeshwari Gaikwad who's not playing this game. But India have lots more options in terms of their bowling depth than compared to the men's team, which is normally 6 bowling options. India's women's at least have 7 to 8. But look, here is one of the finest women's cricketer have graced the game, and that's Elise Perry. And which IPL team is she going to be playing for?
Of course, we all know Avnish.
The Royal Challengers Bangalore, Elise Perry, the women's cricketer of the decade, walks in, and look, who knows if she has another World Cup title to her name.
Come on,
but she gets an absolute buffet ball to start her innings, and it's just a single, so that wouldn't really, cost India too much, luckily. But so far, 149 for 4, 18.4. Remember, India have chased above 150 or 150 at least this tournament. That came against Pakistan, but they've done it. Sami Santosh will take your comment after this ball. Meg Lanning so far has been okay. And just as I say that, she's got another boundary, and that will do Australia. Again, really good. They
smack on course for 163.
Yeah, smack on course 163. Smack on course 166 as well, or 160 if they have a good over. Samish going on to say, Nix, we celebrating Gardner's wicket, but Grace Harris and McGrath in good form. You never know when they can come back and destroy our dinner, you never know.
See, that is anyway assumed. That is anyway assumed
assumed.
that it is going to be spoiled. So might as well just look at the positives.
Oh, for sure. Leg side string, I think that will just cost India 1. But look, 154 for 4, 19 overs gone. All our predictions now well in contention. Here's 163, Nick's 166. I said 160. Let's see how it really kind of plays out. It just made me think about the start that India enjoy right now. Say if they lose Shefali or Smriti early,
turn the TV off.
Don't say. Just watch the game. Don't say.
I don't want to say it, but then would you kind of promote someone to be the pinch hitter? Because Jemima is going to come in and do Jemima thing. She's not going to really run away with the game early on, right? So,
but if there are 2 early wickets, then I don't think you're alluding to Richa. I don't think you need someone like her to come right up to number 3, because the number 4 batsman will likely be Harman, I suppose.
Yeah.
Who can easily do that. But yeah, I wouldn't want...
Oh, 1 second, Bish. Because this could be a no ball and a 6. It's a 6 for sure. Will they confirm it's a no ball as well? Meg Lanning's asking for it. And again, it's an absolute rubbish ball from Renuka Thakur, who's not had the best of days with the ball in hand. In fact, being India's most expensive bowler, that's below waist height, so I don't think that'll be a no ball, but it is 6 for Australia. And what a way for them to start their file lower. So 160 is definitely on the cards. Now it's only time will tell if it's 170, because they're 10 runs away from it with 5 balls to go. Renuka has not had a good day. I mean, I know that 5 for 15 was brilliant. She's been India's leading wicket taker in this tournament. That 4 for 18 that she got against Australia in the Commonwealth Games. But she really hopes for a good 5 balls to at least bring it back to some parity, right? Oh, that's 4 more. That will trickle across, and I think
tough luck.
That
well bowled.
Yeah, with that, Bishan's prediction goes out of the water as well. So 163 in vain. I think Nick said, I don't think you're going to get your 166 as well. Reminder, Thakur is not a death bowler, saying SS98. This one unlucky, but yeah, the last 2 overs she's been pretty off radar. Anjali Shravani should have been given a chance this World Cup as a left-arm pacer, which is rare in women's cricket. All players that bat against left-arm pacers. Check stats. Absolutely agree with you. They should have probably played her in that West Indies game, if not the Ireland game for sure. But it wasn't to be, and then they were never going to bring in Anjali in this game because it's a semi-final against Australia and whatnot. But the fact that she's a left-armer, there's variety. We don't see that many in the women's game. So good points mentioned by you, Akash. So let's see. So far, 2 balls in this final over of the Women's World Cup semi-final. And India, at least Renuka, has conceded 10. Dot ball right now, which will, of course, calm the nerves
down a little bit.
Calm the nerves a little bit. Kandikar looks like, honestly, I mean, we can make so many memes out of that particular image that he's wearing with the sunnies and all of that. But yeah, it's good to see Kandikar. Did you like Kandikar as a cricketer? What do you remember
at the time?
What do you remember of him?
Without doubt, the 314 chase, right?
For sure.
And there was also an incredible catch he took on the boundary.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that as well. And he had hair back then. Nick's, any memory of Kandikar that you share with me?
Yeah. The earliest and the best ones are the 2 that were rightly mentioned. So, I mean, if you search on YouTube, that's what you'll see first, I think.
I would think so, yeah. He also did travel with India to that Australia tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play. Yeah, I think.
I don't know if he played, but he was on a tour to Australia. That's probably one of the highlights of his career as well.
Yeah. I mean, when did he get the job of this Indian women's team? After Ramesh Pawar, right? So it's still early times for him, but let's see how he goes about it. Right, so Australia, would they come back for 2 here?
166 Nicks. Need a dot ball here.
Need a dot ball or a wicket. I mean, if he gets a wicket, that's really gold dust from Nicks to get it bang on. 166 is what he said. We all kind of came close, but no cigar really. If Nicks gets a wicket here, then we really need to just go down and bow down to him.
Absolutely.
In terms of predictions. I hope it's not a boundary, because psychologically that would mean 170. But let's see. Let's see how she finishes off the innings. That's terrible bowling. And Australia would feast on that any day long. And Nicks's expression just tells a sordid tale of how that final over has gone, because what it's done is definitely given Australia the momentum at the back end. And 172 for 4, what they managed to conjure up. And India now, well, Bish, talk to me.
See, I don't want to sound like a pessimist and say we have no chance here.
Yeah.
But I have to say it's 85-15.
85-15. Wow, that is shocking.
That's the most optimistic prediction that I can make at this point. Yeah, so, but see, like I said, the things that India have going for us is that all of the batsmen in India's top order, the top 6, Smriti, Shefali, Harman, Richa, Jemima, can, maybe not Yastika, but even Yastika actually, can all score runs at a decent clip if needed.
Correct.
So the ability is there.
And we're playing an extra batter today, right? Clearly.
Yeah. So Yastika and Deepthi to right up to number 7.
Yeah.
Solid batting. Right. So we're not out of the game yet, but it's very, very hard situation right now. But the silver lining really is that all of our batters can score runs at a good clip if needed. And that's what we're counting on at this point.
We're also counting on a very good start from Shefali and Smriti. Hopefully that can come to the fore, because India have been all right and steady in their power play so far. They've always averaged 40-41 in their group stage games at least. But just a reflection in India's bowlers out there. You guys can check out the live blog and the analysis on the cricket.com website right now. But as you can see, it's Renuka Thakur who's costed India today. But look, we should not really throw the daggers at her, because she's been a standout for India in the group games. But today, none for 41 in her 4 overs, and it's not good enough. Ritu Gautam, yep, you were close too, but no cigar, my friend. 173 is what India will need to chase down and enter the Women's World Cup final. What do you guys think? Halfway mark. Put your predictions up. Let's be bold. I know it's heart and head, guys, but how much is it the heart and how much is it the head right now?
Very hard at this point for my heart to override the head.
Okay.
172 is just too big a score.
Yeah.
So I have to say Australia.
Okay.
To win
Next.
fairly easily, may I add.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. Next, was it that final over which really kind of punctured India's hopes even more?
Yeah, just a bit more. Probably 25-26 to more. Just to put it in that sense that, as we discussed, 140, 160, still a range that you can fight with. 172, you will need a Mandana or a Harmanpreet Kaur masterclass. If somebody else steps up, nothing like it. This is probably the stage to be part of the folklore. If you can do that here, will give the team an immense confidence for the final as well. But looks to be very wishful thinking for now. But hopefully, cricket is a game of glorious uncertainties. We keep hearing it. Let's see it maybe once for the one more time, maybe. Who knows?
T20 cricket only need one player to come off on the day.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So who's that one player? Is it going to be Shefali? Is it going to be Smriti? Because if there's any one player I hope who comes to the fore, it should be Shefali, bro.
Shefali coming off would make it great fun to watch as
Great fun to watch. If Shefali comes off, and even if she gets 27 ball 50, for example, I know that's wishful thinking, at least India will be in the thick of things. If they lose Shefali or Smriti early, then we're already kind of looking at a really, really like a mountain to kind of climb already. But Harmanpreet coming to the fore, only time will tell, because law of averages suggest that she should come good. Can India elongate their batting order slightly, where by throwing Yastika maybe one down, by maybe saving Richa for things when it matters, Nix? Because I know Richa might come in 3 down, but I don't know. What do you feel?
See, I think the game will be decided in the contest between Brown and Mandana. Brown has had the number of Mandana for a while. India has played out Meghan Shoot better in the past as well. If Mandana is able to see off Brown and she's able to set a score for herself, like she's like maybe a 35 in 20 or 22, it will just give the team that much confidence going into the middle overs, because the game is going to be decided there. India can throw a few punches up in the power play, try and still make it a 45-50 kind of score, because they're going to chase at 9. So you need 45 to 50 range score at least, hopefully not losing more than 1 wicket. But if Mandana is there in the middle overs and Jess Jonathan comes on to bowl, I want her to keep, then is the game where you can use whatever you want to use. But you need Mandana probably for the first 10, Kaur for the last 10. That's how I'm seeing it. and then you can use whoever you want as a supporting act for them. This is the day your seniors have to play the games of their life. There's no way out of it.
I'm just looking at Australia's bowler so far of the tournament. I know they have great options at their disposal. Megan Schutt, 8 wickets so far in her 5 games. There's also Wareham, who's got 6 wickets in her 4 games, and not to forget Ash Gardner, who has 7 wickets in her 5 games. So there are a few to watch out for. I'm guessing, by the looks of things, Australia have, 7 bowlers by the looks of things, Nick?
Yes, they do, and it's also the success that Megan has had at times while bowling second under pressure. So,
yeah.
And they are, see, the thing is the score allows them to attack a bit more, which wouldn't have been the case say if India were chasing 150 or 155. Then Lanning is also under that pressure that she needs that wicket early, and she's you can see that maybe in the plans or whatever that they have a room now. They have a room for error as well, that they can have a 1 bad over and still say ask Megan to bowl 3 if they want to, or Brown to bowl 3, because again Darcy doesn't bowl at the end. She is somebody who finishes her overs in the first 12, 13 overs of the game. So it'll just give them that freedom to attack. You'll have Gardner coming in probably 1 at the start, and then to close the power play, you'll have Perry bowling there. So as I felt, Schutt, Brown, and I think the 2 paces will bowl the first 3 overs. You see them off, take 20 odd, then you take it from there. I don't think you can look too far ahead as of now, because the score is such that smaller buckets is what we need to target.
One of these Aussie bowlers didn't get an IPL contract, no? Was it Alana King or Megan Schutt? One of them didn't make it. I remember watching the auction at the time and thinking, how is a first 11 Aussie bowler not...
Alana King got a contract, but I don't think Megan Schutt did. Did she?
I think Megan is with RCB. Is that not the case? That will be very interesting to see.
I mean, Megan's with RCB and I've made a blunder like that. I mean, that's a cardinal sin, but I don't think so. I mean, actually, they have 8 bowlers, Bish. There's Megan Schutt, there's Darcy Brown, there's Jess Jonathan, who's come in. There's Wareham, there's Grace Harris, there's Talia McGrath, Elise Perry, and Gardner. That's madness. That's absolute madness. I mean, it just makes me think.
She is with Bangalore. Poor.
Oh, she is. Oh my God! Apologies to the rest of the people watching this. Megan Schutt's with, of course, RCB. That means we have some stellar names in the Royal Challengers Bangalore camp this time around. But we always have stellar names. We end up with 0 silverware, which is shocking.
Since you're checking, Nick, does Alana King have a contract?
Yeah, I'm just looking at that. I think Alana hasn't had the best of times leading into this auction, which is why maybe she did not. I expect her to get in somehow. If somebody gets injured. So if she's not there, I'm sure she'll be part of it. No, she's gone unsold. I think so. I think she's gone unsold.
What I thought.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's see how things really unfold. By the way, we're going to get fresh faces in the second innings as well. We're going to get Gurkirat on board very shortly. We'll understand his opinions, of course, and not to forget Radha, who we saw the last time around. And Bishan will be substituted as soon as Vaishali trots into the studio, whenever that is, hopefully in the next 5 to 10 minutes, because Bish has to go to dinner with his wife, who he promised, so we'll let Bish go. But right now, before we let you go, Bish, what's your gut feel? Talk to me. I know you just kind of said that you're siding with your head more than heart, but is there any inspiration we can draw chasing 173?
I think it's important, even if we don't score 50 runs in the power play. It's ideal if we do, like Nick was saying, considering the big target, 45 to 50 in the power play is ideal. But even if we don't do that, I would like us to not lose wickets in the power play.
Okay.
To keep ourselves in this game, right? Which sounds like a conservative way to put it, but I don't think we need to go hell for leather. In the beginning, bat normally. So 172 is a score that you can get you don't even need 9 runs and over, right? I know in the women's game it's a big score, but just to like break it down, you don't even need 9 runs and over. So you don't need multiple boundaries every over. So play normally, see how it goes. Sometimes you bat normally in the beginning and you get off to 20 for no loss in 2 overs, right? And if that happens, that calms everything down without you playing the big shots.
True.
So I would say that should be the attitude going in, and then all our batsmen have the ability to score the boundaries. So if nothing, get to 35 for no loss in the 6 overs.
Yeah.
Right. See how it goes. And then you're in the game. You're not out of the game yet.
Okay.
The Aussies are still under pressure. They have to work hard for their wickets. They can't feel comfortable. Don't let the Aussies get into a situation where they feel comfortable. And if you lose 3 early wickets, it's over. They'll be on top of you in no time.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to what Australia did, right? They were, 43 for none in their 6 overs. So they also were steady before they kind of really took the game to a different course altogether. Australia starting off with spin straight away with Ash Gardner. And that's going to be interesting how she fares against Spriti, because Spriti, of course, has been outstumped so far in this tournament. But she will start bowling to Shefali Verma first. And sink in your stream, guys, because it's going to be an enthralling chase. I hope India do get the result, because that'll mean another watch along on Sunday, and that'll be the final of the Women's World Cup, of course. And we're not being wet socks out here in cricket.com. If India don't make the final, unfortunately, we won't be doing a watch along for that particular day. The reason is multifold. I mean, I think that day as well, I'm not available after a certain time because there's a United Newcastle final which beckons. There's lots going on.
Letting everyone know what your priorities are here.
For sure. So first ball, and India off the mark with 2. So Shefali getting things underway, and India on course to chase 173, which hasn't been done before in World Cup semi-finals, at least in the T20 scheme of things. Let's see how India really go about their run chase. What I'd want to see is India, I don't know, at least have a good 6 to 7 wickets in the last 5 overs. Would you take them chasing, or would you take this situation? 59 runs required in the last 5 overs and 7 wickets in hand.
I'd rather lose 2 extra wickets and chase 45.
Okay, in the last 5.
Yeah, because 60 in the last 5 is a fairly big ask.
Agreed. But what if you have one of the openers and Richa Ghosh out there? Because ideally, you would want either Smriti or Shefali to play 14, 15, 16 overs? Or you don't see it the same way?
See, if... Oh, almost missed that.
Drive for the heave-ho.
If we get off to a decent start, right? And if Smriti seems to be hitting the ball fairly well, then... I mean, but actually that's not fair, because both of them, if they bat for long enough periods of time, they will score runs. So what I was essentially trying to say was, we don't want a batsman batting long if it doesn't mean scoring fast.
Correct.
But in the case of both Smriti and Shefali, if they bat long, they will score fast. So, but I would value more, I think, a 50 of 25 rather than a 60 of 45.
Okay. I mean, you're just talking about impacts right now.
Yeah.
Shefali comes down the track again, and again she'll get 2 on the onside. It's a big boundary over there, so they will run for the throw as well. So 6 for no loss, India, after 5 balls bowled. My producer telling me that Radha is unwell. So Radha, if you're watching this, speedy recovery. Hopefully you feel better. But we will have, of course, Gurkirat who will join us in due course. And unfortunately, Vaishali is 2 minutes away. She's been stuck in terrible Bangalore traffic. And traffic's not just a Bangalore thing, guys. It happens in all the other cities you guys are watching in. Oh, what a shot. That is from Shefali Verma. And India now,
What do you want?
10 for none after the first over. So it's good to see. And the plan backfiring from Australia, you think, Pish, to open with spin?
No, I wouldn't say that, because by opening with spin, what they want to do is make India take chances.
Straight away, yeah.
And India are taking chances. This shot here, the last one that came off, it was a slog dragged from outside of off stump.
But it was sweetly timed.
Yeah, it wasn't a high percentage shot. It was a well-played shot.
True.
Right?
And the best part about it is the fact that we've got 10 off this first over. Now I'm guessing, Nix, it'll be Darcy Brown against Mandana, and you said that she has a number. What's her number? 9845?
You just hope she's not getting out. That's all that I'm worried about as of now.
Hopefully.
Yeah. It's okay. It's mega cool.
India's batting gives me an impression today slightly longer with Sneerana and Radha there as well. Hopefully we can get the best out of them. Smriti drives. They've got the sweeper on the offside, so just the one. And it's not Darcy Brown, it's Megan Schutt, actually, who's Australia's leading weight taker this tournament. Oh, and there you see the man The snake, dare I say.
Oh, God. Avnish doesn't care that he's on national television.
Yeah, no chance. I'm never going to get a job from the BCCI. That is it. It's done. It's done. No, but we love you, Jesh. I was just messing around. We absolutely love you. I mean, for different reasons altogether. Thanks for your father coming to the city and hogging up all the traffic jams right now. Amit Shah, of course, in Bangalore causing problems. The watch along gets us saying all sorts of shit, which is fine. Megan should just playing on Shefali's mind there in terms of floating one slightly full outside off stump. Now it's just going to be a cat and mouse game, I feel, with Shefali and the Australian bowlers here.
Shefali seems to be in the mood.
She
seems confident.
Yeah.
She seems to want to take the aggressive option.
True. Oh, she beat up to the pads.
Going down.
Oh, she's giving him.
Out.
She's giving her. Sorry, not him. She's giving her. I don't know. I mean, it looked a little dodgy from an Indian perspective. And I hate it when the umpire took that little bit extra time because you knew that the finger was going to be raised. Now, obviously, Shefali has deferred this, and you're hoping it's not even an umpire's call, and you're hoping that it's going to be height more than it's straying down leg, boys. What's your gut feel? Bish, Nix?
I thought it looked like it was going down leg as well.
Yeah.
First look.
Yeah. Greg thinks it's an inside edge. Nix, what do you feel?
It's definitely not inside edge because she didn't review it immediately.
It was a back of the hand slow ball. It looks good to be pitching in line. I think height's the only question.
Hopefully
here.
missing, yeah.
I'm saying
worst case would be umpire's call.
Yeah, I think it's height. I don't think there's bat at all, to be fair.
I actually still think it's missing. Even
I actually agree with Bish. The fact that it could be slightly against the angle. But let's see, it's a very critical review, this. It's a critical moment in the game as well. Australia will be hoping that it's just kissing the wickets because the original decision is out, remember. India will be hoping that there's one green somewhere. There are two reds so far. And it's a umpire's call. And we don't want to see that. Bish nearly called it right, saying that it could be straying. But the on-field decision was out, and oh my God, Shefali looked really good for that 6-ball-9, but she has to depart, and that already has put the Indians behind further. Nix? That's I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it could have easily been not out, could have easily been out. So
I hate these umpires calls going against us. I hate it. I mean, but to be fair, if you were the umpire right now, would you have given that out?
Definitely not. As soon as I saw it, I said not out, going down leg.
And that's not being biased.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Fair.
Like it did not look clear to be like out. It was more like a 65-40 call that I think it may be hitting the stumps. I don't even think it is 65 kind of stuff. It is very.
It was also an appeal in hope. I didn't think it was an appeal with conviction.
And it was just an innocuous delivery. It was nothing really like special about it. Yeah, sure, it made her play cross the line. But okay, here's a little sort of change in the batting guard. And Yastika Bhatia, who of course has got the game today, bats one down for India. We've seen her bat one down earlier this tournament, I think a game against Pakistan. So hopefully Yastika can get on with it and not really consume dot balls, because I don't know if you guys saw that What's Up with Women show where Nisha and Shweta talked about it in great length about how India have been eating up dot balls. That shouldn't be a problem. Oh, you beauty! Yastika Bhatia walking down. You know, that shot reminded me of Robin Uthappa, walking down the ground, playing Brett Lee, pass for 6. But, that's a great shot from Yastika Bhatia. Kanishk Agarwal, friend of the channel. I'm guessing a new person. Subscribe, lad. Do tell a friend. And, of course, the family about
very articulate comment from Kanishk there.
Damn.
Yeah, I think it's just clear signs that this possibly decided that if Shefali goes early, you send Yastika and get her to get the attack in terms of she's the aggressor.
Absolutely. Like Yastika should just be given the license, and even if she fails, do the same thing with Radha. Then even if Radha fails, do the same thing with Sneha Rana, and then hold Jemima, Harman, Richa.
No, you're not deciding for Bangalore yet.
Captain of me.
You're not deciding for Bangalore yet. Just hold.
I'll tell you why I'm saying that, Nix. I'll tell you why logic behind that. Then you just have your more capable batters still in the hut. So there's still hope, right? Or no?
But the problem with that is your most capable batters are now batting 9 and 10, which means they can't play freely because their wickets cost more.
I know, but it's almost like, say, in the 90s, you remember, like, even though we had Dravid, Ganguly, Tendulkar, we'd still send Sunil Joshi to play those pinch-hitting cameos, right? So I'm saying we can utilize, like, things
One
of that.
pinch hitter is allowed. You want 4.
I need 2 or 3. Okay, but who is the best pinch hitter option then? If we have to send one in, who would that be for you?
If there was Puja.
Oh, trapped! Thank God.
Down.
Oh, was there bat in that? Oh, Australia might like it here. Meg Lanning goes for it. Now, this honestly looked like plum. Bish disagrees with me. Raja Human still feeling confident saying India win.
Wow.
Nick's watching kind of with his heart in his mouth. Nix, what do you feel, Nix? Because I think if there's no bat in this, Smriti's a goner. She's a goner.
I mean, I think it did look straight, but I don't know.
I think clipping at best.
Oh, Ash Gardner. She conceded 10 in her first over, but she, of course, has been persisted with. And only time will tell if she's got the crucial. Oh, thank God there is the big blade of the Hero Honda bat. And it's obviously not out. So Australia wasted a move. So Smriti's still alive. But Smriti, of course, holds the cards and the key right now.
I mean, certain that's back first.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my God! Sorry, Vish is spot on right now. It's bad first, and this could be curtains. Oh, it could be curtains. It's curtains. There's 1 red. There's 2 reds.
Could be high.
Oh, the 3 reds when you want umpire calls to go for you. Australia have not just got the first opener, but they've got both the openers now. And it's that game, set, and match.
Yeah, it is another story for India in a knockout game. Something we've been talking about right from the first watch along. What happens if you lose Shefali and Mandana early? What happened? Answer in brief. 10 marks. This is the answer on show.
I mean, it's a double blow that no one would have seen coming.
It's just gone from 85-15 to 95-5.
I mean, right now, I mean, let us know in the comments if you guys are even going to turn the TVs off. Still have hope in Harman and Richa and Jemmy to get us over the line and put a miracle out of the fire. I don't know. I don't see it coming through. If there's anyone to win it from here, I would say a Harman miracle. But even that is asking for too much.
Yeah, but we still have to think about strategically what's the right thing to do here. And I don't think it's for Jemmy to come in.
True.
I don't think Jemmy and Yastika together is the right option here, because even if
it is
Jemmy was the most likely person to come in, I have to say that.
Yeah. Chachant, don't you even go down that path, Chachant. Don't even start, man. Oh, and Jemmy straight away getting 4.
Right in the gap.
Let's go, Jemmy. Let's go, Jemmy. Let's go, girl. Let's go. Listen, it's really important that India get themselves out of the situation, because Bish spoke about it before the first ball was bowled in India's innings, that he would take 35 for none. Bish, now what? We've lost, obviously, the 2 catalysts that we have in this batting lineup, Smriti and Shefali. Now, how do we go about resurrecting our innings? Is it punch for punch? Oh, short. Oh, short. 2 boundaries. Fire with fire.
Yeah, we just need a little bit of the game to go in our favor, because it's very easy from this situation to get into a rut, right? Now, Jemmy's come in and hit 2 4s. Thankfully, I mean, she got a couple of bad balls. Well played, both shots.
Yeah.
But wide outside off and short outside leg were the first 2 balls that she got.
True.
And she's got off to a bit of a start. It could very easily have been a case where we play out 3 overs with only a few runs coming per over, making it a situation where you almost can't come back from. If you reach 30 for 3 or 30 for 2 in the power play, that's game over.
That is game over.
We've avoided that right now by already getting 25 and 2.5. So we can still hope that we get to a 45 for 2 in the power play, and that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. I mean, I take that right now. And the fact that Jemmy is 10 runs already of her first 3 balls goes to show that there's a little bit of a message sent out with her. And it's not just about consolidating right now, because from the offset, India literally required to get above 8.5 plus. So look, let them keep that runs flowing. The dot balls will be, of course, spoken about again in the middle over phase. I hope India's batters don't get bogged down. Now the question is, how much can these two stitch? You hope that these two will still be around till the power play ends, so then you can send in Harman and you can send in whoever, and then things unravel. Let us know in the comments, by the way, how things are going to unravel right now. We're waiting for Vaishali, we're waiting for Gurkirat, of course. So keep your questions coming in for them. And if you guys want to ask Nix and Bishan anything, the comments are yours. Vaishali saying, coming, guys. We're waiting for you, Vaishali. Where are you? You're the lucky charm so far in the women's watch along. Now, Darcy Brown will start her first over, and she starts off with a wide. Yastika, remember, playing perhaps the shot of the day so far. That's straight down the ground, at least. Chuchan saying, great intent from Jemima, at least. Hopefully that carries on. Hopefully that does carry on. Because 173, is it already asking too much of a batting order who doesn't kind of show you that much with intent, right?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of any batting order. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think there's a team in the world that will start as favorites chasing 173 against Australia.
Yeah.
Against any team, actually. I don't think anyone, even Australia chasing 173 against India.
Yeah.
Right? India start favorites there. Right? I don't think Australia chase 173 easily against India. So it's a big score for anybody. And I don't think India winning this game unless one of our more attacking batters, score some runs, which is Richa and Harman among the players who are left right now.
Yeah.
So you really hope that one of them come good. As well as Jemi and Yastika may play, I don't think their style of batting will take us over the line.
No, absolutely. I think they're more nudgers and nerdlers. Let's see if they can really get some sort of platform going for, like the players Bish mentioned, Harman and Richa, who have the firepower. Let's be honest with you. We're expecting lots from them this afternoon. Next, take one from Pranavan in the comments right now, who says, the only positive thing is to go after the bowlers, irrespective of the fact that India is losing wickets. I don't see them winning, trying to take the game deep, especially when the pitch is slower, high variance.
I don't think it's also important to not go too far away from what you need. The rate is still, I won't say very controllable. It's still not too much for you to worry that you need too many. So you have to give yourself chance. You want to take the game deep, but the only thing that you'll ask is just stay with the rate as much as you can. Not saying you target 10 and 11 every over, but you still get 7 and 8. It will still keep you in the hunt if you're not. Again, it's also how you get those runs. If you're taking those many risks and you're getting them, it'll just make the other side that much more confident that, okay, there is a mistake around the corner. So you have to be very smart about the options that you choose. So try and, as we said, smaller targets at the end of the power play, be around 42, 45. Then you take the 10 over mark, be around 75, 80 or 85 if you want to. Just take it slowly. Just don't go too far ahead, just as of now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid point mentioned by Nikhil there. The fact that India sometimes might be looking at this 117 already kind of been shitting themselves in the sense, go hard, go hard, go hard. But now they've lost their openers. Let's see how they really play it from here. Akash Yadav saying, guys, Yastika is very weak against right arm off spin. Please, Ashley Gardner, don't take wickets. Goes on to say Akash Yadav. All you guys watching this, by the way, show us some love. Like this particular watch along and subscribe to the channel. We are going to be doing lots more in terms of watch-alongs and cricket content that you'd like. It could be a run out. It's curtains. Absolute school girl errors. I was going to say schoolboy errors. School girl errors happening out there. Yastika's run out right now. And again, a miscommunication from Jamima. And that has resulted in India being 3 for 28 or 28 for 3. Bish?
That's a tough one. I don't know.
Whose mistake was that?
Yastika's.
Yeah, there's no run there.
She wasn't called for a run. She just played the shot and walked into the run almost.
Oh, God. And again, it's going to be an uphill task. And the captain now walks up, which is Harmanpreet Kaur. She hasn't really delivered, barring that Pakistan knock that she, of course, got. Hopefully, it's Harman's day out. There was a lot of talk about Harman missing this game. There would be some sort of story and script if Harman not just playing this game, but winning it for India. Let's see how that really unfolds. Funvid's going on to say Tuk Tuk Yastika. I would say tuk Yastika. I just think that she was looking all right, but right now 28 for 3, chasing 173 is just quite ridiculous. Shafari Varma equals KL equals knockout match, saying SS98. Always, there'll always be those fans who will draw comparisons, parallels. Yeah, Bish?
No, this wicket,
Yeah.
it looks like a run out, but it's a wicket that was borne by the dot balls.
Mm-hmm.
She played 3 dot balls back to back right before this. She was feeling the pressure of having to score runs or at least get off strike. If she'd played the same shot, lovely shot, Harman.
That is beautiful. To get her innings off and running, honestly,
Fantastic.
brilliant stuff. Vikram Mohanty saying, see how Australia's fielding is compared to how India has fielded. I mean, it's still early.
I mean, we don't need to see it. We knew always Australia's fielding is the best in the world, really.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this shot that Harman plays to get off the mark just makes me ask you guys a question. We often talk about Rohit Sharma being the most pleased to watch and all of that. In terms of the women batters, who would you really pay money to watch?
Jemmy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In terms of the technical flourish.
Absolutely. She looks very good when she bats. She looks like she has a lot of time. She can play all the shots.
Yeah. And even that cover drive she just played of Ashley Gardner.
Yeah.
Was pretty magical.
So,
Nick, do you agree with that? Jemmy being the most beautiful batter in terms of aesthetics and technique and all of that?
Mandana, it is for me, firstly. I think
Okay.
she's also maybe the left-handed bias probably
I was
makes her
going to
feel
ask you that.
I mean, I'm sure you guys remember, she played a very good 6 in that series against Australia. Then she moved away and just carved it over covers. I mean, that is a 6 that I can watch like at any point of day. I might be doing anything in life, and you show me that, and I'll have a big smile because I think that there are just some moments that just stay with you, and I mean, just thinking about it makes me smile a lot. That's how like some of those. I mean, she's very good timer of the ball. That definitely helps, and you don't often need her to like muscle the ball. So maybe that just also adds to the grace that we see of her.
Yeah. Fanvid's going to say playing an extra batter was a disadvantage for India. In hindsight, yes, I would agree to him to a certain extent, but even if we did have the 6 bowler, she's trying to play it, third man, 1 bounce, nothing to worry about.
But Fanvid's in this situation when we're 3 down early, I suppose at some level you're happy we have the extra batter.
Yeah.
Because you're only 2 down at this point, really,
And there's a no ball. So Elise Perry, who's of course been introduced into the attack right now, straight away overstepping, and there's a free hit for Jemima. Hopefully she can take full advantage. Sachin Upadhyay, good to see you in the comments below this evening. Good to see you. He goes on to say, guys, another failure for India and ICC trophies. Honestly, tired of this. Rather have the team not qualify at all. It pains to see us failing in the semi-finals and the finals, both team in blues.
Sachin, 16 overs left.
Sachin, yeah, 16 overs left. I mean, but look, if we actually have to really answer him, Nix, is there any sort of evidence that you've seen in the last 5 to 10 years why our teams don't do well in ICC competitions? Is it because the talent pool is too large? Is it a host of other reasons? What's the biggest reason?
One reason, Australia.
Yeah. Or transcontinental team.
Australia for women's, New Zealand for men's. If you want to put it very bluntly, I think that I don't think you can say that for the Indian side. I think they've often done much better than expected. Be it that, see, it's the setup as well. You need to remember who you're competing against. Australia, England have had far better setups, even so far. Getting into this.
Sorry, that's a 4 because a free hit has been taken toll off and dispatched back where it came from. Sachin Upadhyay saying dropping Rajeshwari was a mistake, a big one. Looks like a slow pitch would have played her. I mean, it's easy to say these things in retrospect again, right, Sachin? The fact that, Australia did get 173 and we're playing the extra batter and Yastika has moved in, turned out to be well. But look, I mean, to each his own. Now, the important thing is if Jemima could really kick on and make this innings count. She's cut that away and she'll get 1. So India 40 for 3, 4.2. Guys, do you think Richa Ghosh might be important today for this chase to be done? Obviously, it goes without saying that what Richa has done so far gives us confidence that, okay, there's a batter like her in the hut still to come. But right now, if India need to win this game or think of winning this game, it has to be these two batting for the next 6 to 7 overs minimum, because they're obviously the two proper batters in getting the runs out there. But Australia so far, last couple of overs have been a little wayward, straying with their lines and length. We saw that with Brown. Now we're seeing that with Perry as well. 41 for 3, 4.2. Jemimah and Harman showing intent from the first ball. Even if we lose, kudos to both of them. I mean,
it's a very tough spot right now with Harman and Jemimah batting, because you can't lose a wicket, but you can't let the rate get ahead of you either.
Yeah.
You ideally in a match like this want to be able to bat with abandon.
Shot. She's flicked that away for 4. And Harmanpreet Kaur now actually looking the part, 10 of 4 and Jemimah 15 of 6. Don't rub your eyes, because normally these two, they of course have been criticized before for slow starts. So far, so good. Even though India 3 down already in quick time, if any of them can bring us back into the game, it's these two. So fingers crossed this continues. There's been a little bit of applause going on from the Indian dugout. And there's still 9 balls in the power play, so it's going to be good to see. Right, I think we can make our substitute the first one of the day at least. And Bish, we really appreciate your time. Sorry for really
Most
dragging
welcome, not at all. My pleasure, absolutely.
Love the predictions.
Bye, everybody.
See you very soon.
Do, of course, tell us how you guys feel about Bish leaving the stream, but he'll be back, of course, at some course during later in this week. Bish, enjoy dinner.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you soon, my friend.
Bye-bye.
And we appreciate your time on yet another watch along. And, of course, taking his place is, wait for it, the birthday girl, not anymore, but of course last week, Vaishali, who was stuck in traffic. Vaishali, straight away, what you make of this game? 46 for 3, chasing 173. Talk to me, girl.
I think, like India, I have also not had the best day so far.
Oh, God.
The Australia got better of India so far.
Yeah.
So traffic of Bangalore got better of me.
Oh, God.
But then not anymore. I think the way from the time Harmanpreet has come, she has shown the right intent.
Yep.
Hopefully today will be her day. And let's see if we can get through this.
That is true. I mean, I was just going to ask you about the double blow, at least, okay, fine, the triple blow now that we've lost 3 wickets, but especially the wickets of Smriti and Shefali. Is that already made us, I don't know, not even think about winning this game, or do you still think there's hope?
There is definitely hope. We are playing 1 batter extra today. Obviously, Yastika is out now. But I think till the time core is there, till the time we have the hitters to come in, we still have hope. Hopefully, definitely the wicket of Smriti and Shefali has gotten us back, a little back. We wouldn't want them to, be out in the power play at least. One of them should have stayed. But then that's how the game is. That's how we always predicted that Australia will going to come stronger on us. But hopefully, this is core's day. And, I still hope that we will be able to get through it.
Yeah, I love how optimistic she always is, regardless of the situation. Nix, I'll come to you, but before that, just want to ask you right now, what should be the messages to the Indian batters out there in the middle? Because Harmanpreet and Jemimah are super crucial right now. Do you expect them to bat till the 10th, 11th, 12th over and then wait for Richa to come? Do you think that's how they're going to approach it?
I think there's no time to wait anymore, because if you're going to wait for long, the required run rate will be out of your reach.
Yeah.
So as in when you see the opportunity, just hit the ball, play to your strength.
Yeah.
Even if you are not able to hit boundaries every over, if you can even take 6 or 7 runs maybe by running or so, we will be in a good position. Don't wait in such a long time that it will be out of reach for everybody.
Yeah.
Don't want that in that situation specifically. Let us just get through some crucial phases. Let us not lose any more wickets. Maybe score somewhere around 40-50 runs in 6 over or so, 5 or 6 overs, so that even if there is a chance for Richa to come and hit, because it's not easier to hit every ball, as we all know. The wicket was playing a little slow.
Yeah.
Even Australia has had tough time. I think they were only some 60 run or so in 10 overs, and then they scored 102 runs in the next 10 overs.
Yeah.
So that showed that even it was difficult for them to score runs. So it won't be easy for any new batter to come in and start hitting from the first ball itself. So I guess, just get through this overs and then we'll be good.
Yeah, I think you've summed it up pretty well there. Oh, and Jemimah jumping for no reason, but she's better safe than sorry. By the way, India 51 for 3, 5.2. This is already their best score in the power play this World Cup. They've always got 40, 41, 40. or 2, around those kind of scores. So it's good to see. Next, what I was going to ask you is the fact that are India going to target any particular bowler? I know Elise Perry conceded 14 in her first over. Jess Jonathan's been introduced into the attack right now. What are Harman and Jemima telling themselves? Are they targeting anyone in particular? Do you think that's the messaging at least?
Just go big whenever you can. That's all. Just if
Okay.
it's there, just go for it.
Shot! Go big whenever you can.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant stuff. I mean, this
Yeah.
is exciting me right now. Even though we've lost 3 wickets, guys, we're 57 for 3
Yes.
in 5.4. There's still 2 balls left in the power play. And Harmanpreet Kaur, well, it could be one of her days. What do you reckon?
I've always been saying this even in the previous watch along.
Yeah.
And wait and watch. It will be Harmanpreet's day today. So if you remove this wickets column, I think we are at a good position in terms of runs that we have scored so far.
Yeah.
So it's a good power play. Obviously, with 3 wicket lots, you will say it's evenly poised.
Yeah.
But then if Harmanpreet does what she knows the best, it will be our day. And
Yeah.
I'm literally, still believing, and then I think we'll get through this.
Okay, fingers crossed. Sachin had a good comment again. Let's take that one from him next. Sharak, if you could just put that up on the screen. I'll just read it out to you. Last ball of the power play. And yeah, India 59 for 3 after 6 overs. So their best score in the power play in this World Cup. So well done.
Yeah.
And they're 114 away to get that in 14 overs. So still in the game. There's still hope. Do not turn your TV off at all.
No.
Sachin going on to say, I know overs are there, but it looks like an uphill task with their bowling after the power play. Hoping these two fire. And Richa Ghosh and Dipti Sharma do what they do if needed. I'm trying to be positive. Fingers crossed. Similar mindset. I mean, you talk about Richa Ghosh and Dipti Sharma still being there. I would still put Sneh Rana as well in that little group that she can probably get a 15-20 if needed. There's Radha as well who can bat a bit. So India do have some batting to come, but it depends solely on these two in the middle, like you say there, Harmanpreet and Jemmy. Because if you take that 33 that Harman scored against Pakistan, she has nothing to show this World Cup. But like Vaishali's been saying, the law of averages might really do her a world of good. Now, Australia making another change in terms of their bowling. Here's Wareham coming on to bowl. She's got 6 wickets so far, the leg spinner for Australia. And Jemmy cutting and getting one to backward point. You take this question then, Vishali. SS98 saying, should Shweta Sherawat replace Shefali after the World Cup?
That's like such a huge ask, but I think that's not the way. Shefali's been doing good. She's just 19, as we all know.
Correct.
It will take some time for her also. Like, everyone has a bad day, and obviously I know it is not the best World Cup of Shefali so far.
That is true.
But then obviously Shweta Sherawat will come at some point of time in Indian team, but I don't think so. That this is how it will gonna work. That Shefali will just go off and Shweta will come in. I don't think so. That's how it works. Everyone has bad days, good days. Shefali has a lot of capabilities, and that's why she has shown over the years. So Shweta will come, but not at Shefali's place, definitely.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's an opinion which you guys can say, but I fully agree with Vaishali here. I don't think Shefali's that are going to be replaced. Swept away. There is a fielder there. Those 63 for 3, 6.3. If you guys are joining us on the CDC Watch Along, do subscribe, tell a friend, and tell the family about cricket.com. We're here to stay. Next, what I was going to ask you is the fact that, yes, we're seeing spin from both ends right now. Is that playing in the hands of the Indians, or do you think that's still something that Australia are trying to figure out? Because they've chopped and changed with their bowlers so far. 1 over to Perry, 1 over to Brown, 1 over to Schutt. What's the thinking there?
I think Lanik is just keeping her options very open and not letting. And it's also the way these two have started. That whenever there has been any bad ball, they've ensured that it doesn't go unpunished. So it just keeps them also on their toes. I do feel invariably Jonathan and Brown's overs are going to be the game. We see them off without losing much wickets. The pressure will be on the others to strike. And
that is true.
I'm fairly confident that you can see off Wareham and Meghanshu without much trouble if the rate is around the same, around 8.5, 8.3 where it is now. So
yeah, this
has to continue. Not saying you go every ball. If it's there, go. If not, rotate, strike. As we discussed sometime back, stay at 7-8, 7-8, 7-8. That will make Australia feel the pressure, make the bowling changes. The bad ball will come. We've seen already with a few of those wides and all. So you have to make the game happen now that you're 3 down. So I mean, for a good change, you are ahead of the rate, which is always good place to be.
Which is very good, which is very good indeed. One thing that Shweta and Anisha were talking about their show, which I brought up in this watch along as well, the dot balls being eaten up. But so far, Jemmy and Harman, even in this last over against Wareham, they got singles, even if they couldn't get the boundary. How important will that be in the next 3 to 4 overs, that they minimize the dot balls so that they don't have to do the heavy hitting like we've seen?
Exactly. And even if you see, you would have seen the last Pro's presentation of last game against England of Kaur. She has accepted that fact. You know that we need to reduce our dot ball percentage.
Shot. Sorry, Vishali. That's a beautiful shot from Harmanpreet Kaur.
Yes. So we need to cut the dot ball percentage, and I think so far in this innings only Yastika is someone who has took like 6 or 7 balls, and then she scored only 3 runs so far, I guess. Other than that, if you know that this is the mistake that you have committed, you know that 170 is on the board which you have to chase. I don't think you can afford many dot balls, and if you have accepted, where you have made the mistake. I think if you can show that you can correct that, you are still in the game. So as we spoke, even if you are not getting boundary in every over, you are getting 6 or 7 just by running, you are pretty much in the game. And then one bad over can turn the momentum in your favor.
I think you've absolutely nailed it there. Pranav Anand going on to say, that's what I meant by high variance. If you to beat this Australia team, you have to keep going even after the wickets have fallen. In fact, that's how general T20 templates should be. It'll produce bad balls too. Agreed with you. I just think the brand of cricket nowadays we're seeing in the modern day game is exactly what you've said there in the comment, Pranav, that you still need to keep going hard. You still need to show intent. You need to run hard between the wickets. You can't let dot balls get the better of you. And that's what's most appreciative about the starts that we've seen with Kaur and Jemima right now. Again, you guys get happy very easily. We need to continue this momentum. Look, sometimes smiling and laughter is the best medicine out there. I know at times I love what I do. I mean, I make no mistake about that. I love what I do because I just literally talk about cricket for a living. Sometimes you just have to be happy, Vikram.
Yes.
I know there's doom and gloom in the world and we're seeing terrible things happen and all of that. But sometimes
if we become sad and talk like this, nothing, you will not watch our show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
but look,
we have to be bang on.
Yeah, we like the negativity. I mean, as long as the comments keep coming through, keep it coming through. Chachant saying, Pranav, that's really called baseball. It is really called baseball. 72 for 3, 7.4. As an RCB fan, Abneesh is used to that. I'm going to do something which you can't see right now.
That's below the belt.
That's below the belt.
Yes, not allowed.
Not allowed, but it's fine. Let the banter keep coming. What is life without banter?
But are you preparing for RCB into 2 this time?
You know what's going to happen? RCB's women's going to be winning the IPL faster than the RCB's men.
Faster, right?
Or quicker. Or like the first people basically to do that.
Yeah, that would just increase the trolling a bit more.
Men's going to win the IPL in 2028. It'll be Virat's 20th year of the IPL. His final year of the IPL, and
Baba,
they will rig it.
Abneesh, we should name you, right?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Nix is having a laugh as well, which is ridiculous.
Baba Abneesh. We will just crop this particular segment and put it
I
up
mean, he's
there.
gone on to say 2028. I mean, I was expecting a closer
he's
date.
Very realistic. Nikhil is very realistic in his prediction also.
Oh, for sure. 100%. Can RCB's men win the IPL, men and women? I mean, imagine RCB being the first ever team in IPL history to have 2 titles in the same city. No other IPL team has done that, have they? Obviously. So
no one has got a chance.
No one has got a chance as well.
Yeah.
So let's see. I love always seeing the worm graphic, and as you guys can see, 99 required of 72.
Yes, we can still do it.
So the only difference was India losing the 3 wickets. Australia didn't lose a cluster of wickets early on, but they still managed to get the 172. Jess Jonathan to continue, who conceded 12 in her first over. And this is where it'll get really interesting right now.
Yeah.
And they were just showing the broadcast batting lineup, guys. And I just want to ask Vaishali and Nix, Shikha Pandey ahead of Radha Yadav? I mean, is Shikha actually a better batter that way?
I think that will just be like that.
That's just a broadcast error.
Yeah, Radha will get promoted.
Okay, super. Will Harman come back for 2? She will.
Yes, good.
So good stuff over there. So Jess Jonathan conceding 12. And Nix, go on.
I think the next 2 overs are key. If India don't lose any till here, then at the break point, it will put a lot of pressure on Australia. Not a lot of pressure, but they'll still feel that because they wouldn't have expected India to come out after those 3 wickets like this. So
Yes.
it just keeps them under pressure, because you see the rate is around 8.3 only right now, which is great to be. So hopefully India can keep it there, but importantly not lose a wicket.
Yeah, there were 69 for 1 Australia after that 10 overs, and like Vaishali said in her opening points, the fact that they got about 103 in their last 10 overs, which is quite ridiculous. 8.3, 77 for 3. If you guys are watching this, do of course like and subscribe. There could be a runner chance, but India get a sneaky single, and it's good to see the running as well.
Yeah.
The intent in terms of not just finding the boundary, but of course just getting the singles, and it's been a vital 50-run stand, and it's come against the run of play. Just 33 balls for this 50-run partnership, but India will take it, and there is hope, of course. Sachin Upadhyay going to say, RCB Women's IPL trophy loading, but no matter what, RCB true fans are always there. Trophy or no matter what, with Avnish there, RCB all the way. You know what?
We want this type of commitment with Indian team as well. No matter what happens
100%.
with the team, no matter whatever happens with this game, you have to support your team always.
Oh, true. I'm one of those fans. I think many people, like you've met them in our office so far, Vaishali, they're all negative guys. All of them. You look at them, even from an India IPL lens, all of them be like, no. I'm one of these loyal fans, and sometimes you need that in the modern day game.
Yes.
I mean, Nix is smiling away. I don't know his thoughts.
Yes. Good for you, Avnish.
It's when the donkey praises himself.
Yes.
It's honestly that. Okay, 80 for 3, 9 overs. What's your prediction? India to win by 7 wickets.
I just want India to win. Doesn't matter how many wickets you win by. No NRR, nothing comes in front. Just want India to win. This partnership should be there at least for 3 or 4 overs.
That's
and
true.
The way they are going, it's absolutely brilliant.
It's absolutely brilliant.
To come out of 3 wicket loss and then do such kind of partnership, keeping Australia on their toes is something which we wanted, and that's what they have shown.
100%. If you had to ask anyone half an hour ago when we were 28 for 3, that we'd be 80 for 3 after 9 overs, no one would have even said yes. So let's see. Let's hope like the game's going into the right direction. 93 more runs required, remember, from the 11 overs remaining. And Australia have been chopping and changing. Like Vaishali said, keeping them on their toes as well. Oh, brilliant shot from Jemima. That'll be boundary.
Yay,
it was tossed up from Wareham. And Jay Shah liking that as well. Jay Shah liking that as well, guys. Insane. By the way, quick update from our point of view. Gurkirat, unfortunately, has messaged me saying there's no power in his house. I don't know if that's an excuse. I'm sure it's not, because he would definitely love to jump on and have his say. But he said as soon as he does get access to electricity, he will jump on. And this watch along. Jemima's gone onside this time, but there is, of course, deep mid wicket.
Yeah.
And just the one. But I'm loving the positive nature that both of them have showed at the crease.
Finger crossed, finger crossed, finger crossed.
The nerves will be tested once they get close to the target. 2017 Commonwealth Game final being the example.
Please keep coming. We'll power all this obstacle which you keep saying. Please keep your comments on. And let's see if we can do that again.
Oh, for sure. Harman sweeps for just 1. India will take this after 10 overs for sure. I mean, for them to be even though they've lost 2 more wickets that Australia had at this stage, they're still 17 runs ahead, which speaks a lot. And Harmanpreet and Jemima neck for neck, 33 of 21, 32 of 19. It's brilliant. I mean, we're not really updated with the scores below, but download the cricket.com app for all the latest scores. We're not as slow as the other apps over there. Inside out again.
That's again.
Inside out again for 4. Brilliant.
Yay.
Brilliant. I'm loving this. I'm loving this, bro.
Yes.
This is brilliant. And you know what? I don't want to flatter Vaishali, but ever since she's come in, she's brought this positive energy. She's brought the luck, and she's brought the boundaries.
Yes. Thank you.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Honestly, it's good to see that. Guys, subscribe and like. Show us some love. Women's cricket is on the rise, onwards and upwards. Exciting times ahead, not just for cricket.com, but for women's cricket. We're going to be doing the WPL watch-alongs. That starts from 4th of March. And we're going to see lots of amazing cricket in the next month or so. And then, of course, the big one, the IPL starts on the 31st of March. Meanwhile, 90 for 3, 9.4. And that could be 94 for 3. She got another boundary. Oh, brilliant feeling. And it's these small little things.
3 runs? No, 2.
Just 2, but it's a productive over, Vaishali.
Yes.
They've got 12 with the ball to go.
Keep going, guys. Keep going.
Keep going,
We are
guys.
right behind you.
Keep going. Honestly, I mean, Nix, have you seen a faster 10-over score that India have made in recent times in T20s? 92 is quite a bit, bro.
Yeah, I don't think so. And again, it just tells you why everybody has been, wanting them to play this way. That if you can, the way Jamie has played today, being proactive, taking the attack.
And this is coming against Australia, not even like Ireland or West Indies, right?
Yes.
So it is exactly how you play. You play the opposition at their game. So that's what both Kaur and Jemima have done that very well. And to be at like 92 odd for 3, chasing 170 after losing 3 so early. And these are not even the guys who've got a lot of scores. So
Yes.
I know Jamie got a 50 earlier, but you haven't seen them this fluid. So just tells you if you get the gaps in time, you can put anybody in the pressure. So let's see
But
the next 10.
Australia is kind of looking under, like they are literally thinking a bit here and there what to do, what not to do. So that's a good sign for us.
For sure.
And hopefully we continue this. And I think we're going to get through this,
7
Amish.
wickets. 7 wickets left, 80 runs to get, 10 overs to play, and they're just taking drinks right now. But another snarky comment coming in from Vikram Mohanty, targeted at Nick, saying it would be helpful if Nikhil starts saying some things that hurts the Australians now even more. I think it's reverse psychology with Vikram Mohanty, but appreciate it, Vikram and Nikhil, of course. 93 for 3.
Like you are a loyal RCB fan, he's loyal
He's
cricket.com
loyal.
fan.
He's loyal.
Always in the
cricket.com,
comments.
100%.
Yeah.
This partnership is 10 plus runs per over. Brilliant stuff to see. It's honestly, it's a breath of fresh air to see this approach from Jemmy and Harmanpreet, who've been often so much criticized about their strike rates and all of that. So they're bringing their A game, and more importantly, they're bringing their A game against Australia. And this is not any other team in world cricket. This is the Australian team who have 5 out of 60 20 World Cups, who are probably the best ever women's team to have graced the game. So lots of things to appreciate on this Thursday evening. By the way, we will be doing the Women's Weekly Show with Anisha and Shweta. I've spoken about it earlier. I will, of course, plug it in again. Check out the preview of it. It was really, really good to watch. Vikram, lovely to see that. Brownie points to you, saying that you're also an RCB fan. The good thing about people like you and me, Vikram, is that we remain loyal. No matter what, 10, 15 seasons, no IPL.
This, loyalty?
No, we still support our team every year.
Anyone can support other team also. They can still be loyal, right?
No, I don't think so.
The people who are supporting Punjab
I don't know Mumbai Indian fans pre-2013 who've been loyal. I've not met a single person.
What about the fans who are supporting Delhi Capitals, Kings 11 Punjab, Punjab Kings now?
Arguable. I mean, they still don't have that loyalty like us we do. I mean, Delhi and Punjab, I mean, they just...
that's the problem. You guys don't appreciate others. Please appreciate others also. We love your loyalty, but there can be loyal fans other than RCB fans as well.
It's tongue-in-cheek. I mean, if people are watching this, they'll understand.
I think the most loyal fans will be the Indian team fans.
That is true.
Women's team.
No, I think...
To be very precise.
All of that.
Women's team. They have also not won many major tournaments, but they are still right behind them, cheering for them every time. Even though there has not been many matches which has been streamed on air, even in the domestic matches. But you see people covering those games.
1 second. That is a shot. Tell me if that is a shot or what.
That's a shot by Jamie Rodrigues.
Oh, wow. That is classic. I mean, we've seen some brilliant cover drives so far.
This one tops the charts.
Tops the charts, for sure. Yeah. She played one of Ash Gardner, her second ball of her innings, which is brilliant.
I thought you would remember me.
Oh, yeah, of course, indeed. And then Harman played a cover drive to get off the mark.
First ball.
But like you said right now, this is a shot which tops the list. I mean, welcome back into the attack.
White.
Oh, they're peeling. Is that peel? Oh, gets it out of play. Jemima knows it. It was a nothing shot. Nix can't believe it. I can't believe it. Vaishali can't believe it as well. And again, when you think everything's going hunky-dory, it isn't. Australia strike, and it's Darcy Brown.
What was the need, Jamie? You were playing so well.
Oh my God, there was no need to play that. She knows it. She's absolutely livid, and she knows it. 97 for 4.
But good innings, Jamie.
Good innings. 43 of 24.
179, mind you, people, strike rate.
Brilliant. Talk about impact in a semi-final. That is a high-quality knock from Jemima Rodrigues. Take a bow. No matter what happens,
you have made us proud.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you won a lot of hearts. So 76 of 58 still doable. They still remember Richa, Sneerana, Dipti, Radhak in that. So look, all hope is not extinguished. Richa Ghosh comes out of bat right now. 97 for 4, 10.2. Darcy Brown to continue. And Australia, honestly, they have so many bowling options. You can't really predict who's going to bowl what. They have Jess Jonathan, Warehim's bowling, Perry's bowled the odd over. What do you think the key is now for the next 10 overs?
Do not lose any more wickets,
Okay.
at least for the 4 overs.
Yeah,
We will be through this game.
true.
Do not lose any
that wicket
more.
really hurt me, Vaishali.
Yes, literally.
I mean, I could tell by Nix's expression as well that it was just against the run of play, Nix.
And it's also
Yeah.
Brown, right? I told you why Brown is very critical on this kind of deck, because if it's not coming on, her short balls will definitely be a line of attack that they'll look target. So
Yeah,
it just gives them a needless opening, is what I feel. I mean, it could have been an avoidable kind of dismissal, because
yes,
post drinks, first ball you hit a 4, every bit of pressure is on Australia to then try and make the game. This now just allows them to bowl a lot more dot balls at Richa, and then this is where you want both of them, Kaur and Richa, to have a talk that it's okay, let's just take some time here. This now
Yeah.
you could still take the risk with Jamie and Kaur because you had Richa to follow. I don't think, of course, you have Dipti and I trust her for with all my life, but you don't want all of them to just come in very early. So the
Yeah,
entry point
exactly.
has to be right in that sense as well.
right. So this could be a potential over which just drags Australia back into the game. 4 off it, but more importantly, the wicket and 3 dots to follow. We talk about game-changing overs. This is one of them.
No, it won't be.
You don't think so?
It won't be.
Okay.
Richa just need one shot. And I think if we don't lose any more wickets, we are pretty much in the game more than Australia as far as this position is concerned, to be honest. So it's fine. You can have the bat 1 over. You will also get 1 good over where you will kind of get 10 15 runs, and you are back in the game. So it's all about trusting the momentum, trusting your instinct, be there, and I think we'll be through this.
Yeah, Raji Human saying ghost coming. I don't know if he means the dish in terms of the mutton ghost. I mean, I'm just guessing. Bharat Kotwani going out to say, when everything seems fine and under control, India give us a half break. I mean, it's in India's DNA in every sport.
And that's what T20 is all about, right?
Yeah, exactly. And not just T20. Like, you look at other sports as well. India would never easily get across the line. They'll always do it in a way that, I don't know. It's just a little bit more nervy at times. But Newlands looks spectacular right now, and it'll be even better if India get over the line in this semi-final on a Thursday. To remember, 98 for 4, and let's see how things will trickle across in the next half an hour, 45 minutes. Keep your comments coming through. Do tell a friend to watch us right now, and tell them to subscribe and like if you think India are going to win. 75 from 54 is doable. Before that over, how much do you think was the game in terms of
70-40.
Okay,
70 in
70-30.
favor. 70-30. 70 in favor of India.
Okay.
Because the way the partnership was going with 7 wickets remaining, we were more in the game than Australia. Australia had to literally put their thinking caps on, and I don't think so that was the best of the delivery to get Jamie out. It was just like she went in the momentum, the way she had hit that first ball after the drinks, and then she was like, this is the ball. She wanted to do that uppercut thing over the
and it was a soft dismissal, and sometimes people could heckle at Jamie and be like, what kind of shot did you play there? But she got 43 of 24 balls playing that kind of cricket. So you can't really blame Jamie. But look, she's given us a great platform to go on and get this 173. That is a target. Gautam Bajpai, good to see you, my friend, in the comments. He says, Richa and Kaur to take us home. India to win with an over to spare. That is optimistic if there ever was. And all you 40 people watching this, subscribe, please, right now. Really
it's like
appreciate.
The West Indies game. I think he's talking about.
It is. How much you bat through and play captain's knock.
Yes.
Nix and Vaishali, if there's one batter that right now you'd expect to be there at the end till the 20th over, would it be Harman or Richa?
I would want both.
I know everyone would want both. But if you
I'm being greedy, but then I think if Harmanpreet will be there, her experience will counter the most.
I fully agree with you. Oh my God! Thank God!
Yes.
Oh my God!
What are you doing, Richa? No.
Do not choke us, please. I know that was in the air for a long while. My heart was in my mouth. There was something else in my mouth as well, which I'm not going to mention. Nix is looking at the replay saying, what the hell just happened there? The mid-off was up, and thankfully we can breathe again. We can just breathe again.
No. Check shot, please. No.
Richard's looked a little off and a little dodgy so far. 6 balls, just 3 runs. I don't know
shot, and she will get the confidence.
That was a back
She
of the
wants
hand
that one
slow ball.
boundary.
Yeah.
I think she just wants it.
Oh, what's happening here? Sorry, guys. We're reacting like we're watching a scary movie at times.
Yes.
Oh, but they run for 2.
One shot she needs, that confidence, she'll get it back, and I think she will build on that. So she got like you can say these are the 2 chances that she got.
Yeah.
But then no more, please.
Yeah.
Go with the full heart or go for the single or double.
Oh,
please,
absolutely,
please
for sure.
don't play in between.
You can't. Thank you, Bharat. Yeah, I mean, I just react to the game. Honestly, all you guys watching the game, I mean, obviously it might be more animated, but right now it's very nervous if you're watching because you know India can get over the line. It's the hope that kills you more than anything. Trust me, when it comes from an RCB fan, you know what I mean, right? Bharat Kotwani going on to say, Nix, 1 cameo and it's game done and dusted, but who will play that? I don't know.
We know. It's going to be Richa and Harman.
Richa and Harman?
Yeah.
Okay. Richa and Harman is what these guys think.
Jamie has already played that cameo, so because of that, we are pretty much in the game as of now.
Oh, short Harman.
Straight drive, but don't think it will go for a 4.
68 from 8, still doable. That's exactly 8.5 runs and over. So let's see. Sorry, 66 from 48. So it's still 100% doable. It depends on how much these 2 will be at the crease because that last over, 2 deliveries gave us an absolute fright. Unni Narayan, who normally was actually negative in the last watch along,
please
he's
be
positive.
negative then.
He's positive.
Please be negative. Wherever you were negative in India won, please do that. Don't do anything else.
He's saying, I'm telling you, we're going to win this. I hope so. I really hope so.
Between Australia and the final. Yes.
And Harmanpreet normally produces her best cricket against the Australians. So
in the semi-finals.
As well.
Yes.
So it's good to see that. By the way, we've got amazing numbers and traction throughout the women's watch along.
Yes.
So we really appreciate that. Obviously, it's Vaishali bringing her huge fans and her numbers of fans to watch this particular watch along.
No.
She's blessed, honestly, which is great. And of course, not to forget Nikhil Popat and all the mad fans that he has.
Avanish.
Zero. Absolute zero use. Megan Shure is the only threat, says Bharat Kotwani.
I think, not the threat because we've seen in the series that we have played against Australia. She was not in the best of her form. So she has conceded how many? 13 runs in 2 overs. And I think, no. How many she has conceded so far?
She's gone for a few.
So I won't call her as the only threat. Maybe if you can just play to the merits the way we have been doing so far, no bowler can trouble. I don't think so. India will be thinking like that this bowler we have to play, carefully. This bowler we can attack. I think we are just going playing to the merit of the ball, and that's what generally cricketers does.
Oh, absolutely. So, like you asked, she's bowled 3, who Megan Shure, 1 for 23. So she has 1 over remaining.
Yeah. So then it shouldn't be a big threat, right?
Correct. So Darcy Brown has 1 over after this. And let's see who fills in the rest of the overs from an Australian perspective. Right, let's keep taking the comments. Keep them coming through because, look, it's going to be another half an hour or so of absolute fun, hoping to be a historic day for Indian women's cricket team if they make that final. Sachin Upadhyay saying, I'm shuffling between 3 screens, watching you guys in the match, man. It's getting tough to keep up. Great to hear that, Sachin.
Yes.
And we'll keep taking your comments. You can pour out your emotion. You can abuse. You can feel free to say whatever you want in the comment. Lucky sister on commentary, please come to RCB all match. Otherwise, Isala Cup is a num day. Even though it's never been num day, it's always been our day. If you guys understand Kannada, you know.
No, you can
translate.
Yes, you can tell us.
Isala Cup num day is obviously every year. This year the cup is ours, but that's never absolutely translated. But look, it's the hope that kills you.
So
like
what do you want to say?
I'm saying Isala Cups Namde, which is basically the women's and the men's.
Cup. So
have you heard that one? Have you heard that
so
one?
That was
not winning.
English, no?
You're not winning 1, you want 2.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. People might be saying, "What do you mean cup? Try to get 1 cup." What do you mean cups? Try to get 1 cup, let alone cups and all of that. Yeah, it's true. And I'm not talking about crockery here, guys. I'm talking about trophies.
Yeah, I can get you there.
Like, for sure. Australia in the ICC Women's T20 World Cup semi-finals, they've had like a brilliant record. They've only lost one semi-final ever, and that was 14 years ago
Still
now,
gonna repeat.
against England. Let's see. Wednesday drop. Is that the World Cup that she's put down, Elisa Healy? Oh my God.
I was about to say.
No,
Oh my God.
Alisa got the chance, I think, best. So she's just returning the favor to Indians. Thank you, Alisa Healy.
It was a thickish outside edge, and it was an awkward angle. How much is that going to be costing Australia? Because look, we saw how much.
Just a final. Nothing more than that.
Just a final. I mean, Nick's, in all honesty, Beth Mooney's drop cost us. Hopefully this one cost them, right?
Yes.
I just hope it's not salty at any ends. Let's just end it there.
Only, guys, if you know the background, only then you will understand this.
Oh God.
It could still work both ways. So let's not be salty about it.
Keep doing, Elisa Healy. Please favor us.
Please, indeed. Guys, keep your comments coming through, and of course, like this stream, because we're going to be here till the end of the game. We'll take all your questions, and hopefully,
in today's watch along looks like a true fans watch along. No more expert, nothing. It's just a true emotions coming out of our heart, then we are just demonstrating in front of you.
It is indeed. Australia pulled things back pretty well in the last 2 overs. Out there, beta Isala's jinx. Isala Cup will become.
I'll say Bega Bunny.
I understand you, Sachin. I understand you. Nix and Vaishali might know, but I fully understand.
No, but I'm saying Bega.
Oh, Bega. And Sushant also drawing comparison in terms of football fans. That's what Arsenal fans also saying in England. Isala Cup Ramde. I hope they don't say it for longer because I'm a United fan. Hopefully tonight's a night for United as well to get one over Barcelona, but that's a chat for a different day. 62 from 42, Vaishali, talk to me. Are we seeing the unthinkable?
Very much in the game.
Oh my God, Talia McGrath has now been thrown the ball. Mazak chal raha hai.
Beth Mooney has so many options. McGregor has so many options. She just keeps throwing to everyone and see who can do the job for her.
Do they legit have 8 bowling options?
Yeah, they do have. And she has tried every possible option that's possible in every game.
It's crazy. I mean, it just makes India's batters look even better because they've had answers to whatever Meg Lanning's thrown at them. We'll keep the comments pouring through. There's so many coming right now that I can't even have time to have a conversation with Vaishali and Nix. Jagmeet Singh Oberoi having some banter saying Jai Shah there to buy the Australian team. Yeah, I mean, only we wish. Ooh, it was almost, dare I say, a wicket, but let's see. Let's not. Hopefully that will cost India. Gautam Bajpai saying there'll be no healing this drop. Love the puns. There will prove to be extremely costly. Look, let's just hope.
See the empire's reaction.
The rubber, the green goes Harmanpreet's way. Guys, this game is ours. Please don't panic, dear Indian team. Come on, Akash. Come on. Prayers, billion prayers. That's what helps.
Yes.
38 of 28 so far, Harmanpreet. I would take that. 60 from 39. I would take that. Remember when I asked you guys in the last watch along?
Yeah.
5 wickets left, 40 of 21, and you'd say, yeah, 100% we're doing it. Oh, is that a chance?
Yeah, that was a chance. So she got 2 chances.
She got 2 chances.
Oh, that's a no ball, and Richa is on.
Let's go.
Hopefully, that's the shot we were waiting for, Richa. Hopefully, you connect this one and you get the confidence back.
Yeah, I think this free could potentially be a very good turning point if she gets a boundary, because then she might just be much more free in terms of her stroke play.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
No stopping, Richa. Just throw the bat. Just swing the bat as hard as you can, and that will be in the stand.
Absolutely, and I agree fully with Nix as well, because this is a crucial ball. And does this give her the confidence? So she's being caught in mid-wicket, but she'll come for 6. Yeah, she'll come for 1.
She's not looked in best of. She hasn't looked in best of touches after that last few games, but hopefully, still waiting for that one shot. I think the chance is still coming, it feels.
Yeah, indeed. 115 for 4, 13.3. India still require 58 from 39. So it's going down to the wire. It's going to be an interesting finish. I really want to just walk around and stretch.
This for you.
Shubh Agarwal will take your comment. Oh, she's carved that over.
Yeah,
she's got 4. Get in there. Harmanpreet is bringing this home, baby. Come on. Isala Cup Namde wala kachra must. Bhai, Shubh, just honestly, no more fruits for you going forward. I give them such good fruits from my farm. Apples, pineapples, papayas. I should give everyone. Honestly, it'll make the watch along so much more interesting. Only Shubh knows this little joke, but Shubh, appreciate your comments, man. What feature are you writing next? Let us know in the comments as well. Sachin Upadhyay saying Harman's game, this is her game, fingers crossed. She's got a full toss and she's found the fielder there. That could have gone for 4 as well.
I think every time Harmanpreet, you will find the fielder there because she loves to sweep.
Yep, she does. Yeah. And she's already played like a cheeky sweep shot which went for 4 earlier. RCB fans always doing entertainment for us. Look, I try, my friend. I try, honestly. I've just followed
so much of
by a very little amount of people, my little fans. Oh, you beauty! Oh, that is a shot! That is a shot! Woo! Richa Ghosh. I mean, I know she hasn't really given us any conviction this afternoon, Nick.
But this was the shot.
This is a shot. This is a shot, dude.
And
as good as it gets.
Yeah.
I mean, that requires me to just do a little stretch. I've been sitting for like 3 hours and my bum is planted after Jim's work. Sorry, guys. Apologies for all you guys at home watching this. Just a little walk around, breathe.
No, you can do anything you
get
want.
The nerves out.
But just sit down because the over is going to start. So you do not have to move anything, okay?
You know what I loved about this shot? The fact that she held her pose. She held it.
The follow through is what.
Brilliant. It was brilliant. Okay, fine. Now I'm getting good signs, guys. Let's go. Nix, I don't know. You're trying to be the Dhoni right now.
Yeah, he is.
Calm and
Nix,
cool.
keep doing the way, whatever you are doing. Don't change anything, please.
Brilliant stuff. I wish.
I just want 2 4s in this over. That's
innings, maybe India would have already won the game.
No, don't jinx it.
Let's win now.
Oh, that's a great shot as well. And with that, we can get Gurkirat, who's back on with us. Gurkirat, good to see you, my friend. 45 to 35, talk to me. Surely India's game to lose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping that, the team can keep their nerves because the difference is now just 10 between balls and boundaries, which is essentially 3. I mean, India just need 3 4s from here and a little bit of strike rotation, and that should do.
Wide ball.
So that might be that we need.
50. Harmanpreet Kaur, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant from Harmanpreet Kaur. Take an absolute bow because she's not delivered throughout the tournament. Some would say maybe Pakistan, but come at the hour, come at the time and the hero that she is. Laura Wolfert, what a hit, Richa. Goes on to say Gautam Bajpai. Dude, keep your subscribers, subscriptions coming through your comments. I'm losing track of my voice, my words, everything right now because emotion is sky high.
Super high.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Emotion is taking all over us. But then that's a brilliant innings from her. That's what we needed from our captain and the player of such caliber.
Yeah.
She has done it, and hopefully it's just that's an inside edge.
That's an inside edge for sure.
Hopefully,
Harmanpreet is someone who just finds. Harmanpreet is so much like Yuvraj. You know, you see him play that slog sweep. You know, you get shades of that. And then just like Yuvraj, she also has a habit of turning up against Australia. Semi-finals.
Swept away. Oh, just a single there. Oh, they'll come for 2. Yeah, it's a long boundary.
Not a runner.
Yeah. Oh,
I think this might be close.
Oh, this might be close, you know. This might be close.
She didn't drag her back.
Yeah, she didn't drag her back. Don't tell me. Do not tell me, guys. Nix and Gurkirat, give me all have a silent player right now saying that her foot's in. Please tell me her foot's in because I'm actually getting scared.
Yeah, even I am because she didn't, drag her
I think the bat blow.
Do not tell me.
I think it got stuck in the pitch or something like that.
It got stuck in the pitch,
Yeah. See. That's no, please.
No, this is an absolute cardinal sin, guys. This is not what you wanted. Can you believe that,
I can't believe this.
This is ridiculous.
Isn't this how the Mithali has run out? I mean, I get the shades of that. Do you remember her foot got stuck?
Yeah, I am remembering.
I'm sorry. I'm just speechless right now, dude. I honestly don't know what to say. I mean, they played gems, both of them, Harmanpreet and Jemima. The way they got out, they'd be, regretting it in the years to come. Because it's a World Cup semi-final against Australia. And dare I say, if India don't cross the line, these 2 dismissals will hurt them the most. This one in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, a run out. Really, a run out.
This is just unfortunate. Bat getting stuck there. This is just unfortunate.
And I really like your comparison, Gurkirat and Nix. I fully agree with you. Harmanpreet being the Yuvraj equivalent. But now, Nix, come on. It's your lady. It's your favorite player, Dipti Sharma. She has to get it over the line, bro. Come on.
Yes.
What do you feel?
It's just about 2 boundaries from Richa now, and that should just make Australia bowl a lot more bad balls, hopefully. So you had got the 2 boundaries in this
play
over.
their natural games.
Yeah.
True, and now the required rate is also not that crazy required rate. 40 of 32 is easily doable.
That's what. Let's both of them play their natural game, and I think we'll be good.
Okay, top ball. Australia have done extremely well to come back in this over.
That was a slow running, to be honest.
Oh my God. Every time I look at it, it gets worse. It looks worse. Shubha saying she dragged her bat, but it got stuck. All those mishaps, and now this talk about things going wrong. Absolutely, Shubh. I fully agree with you, my friend. 39 of 30, guys. So 5 overs left in this semi-final one. Let us know what's going to happen. Do you think Richa and Dipti can get us across the line? Remember, we still have Sneh Rana, Radha Yadav, if we do need them with the bat. But more importantly, it's going to go down to the wire. Sameer Santosh going on to save Vaishali. Kudos to Harmanpreet for batting. Takes a lot of courage after feeling not well, playing really well. Has almost punched the boarding pass to the final. Hope we don't bottle it from here.
Exactly.
Extremely good point there. Extremely good point. I mean, we will be having.
I just changed this analogy a little bit. She's checked in. She's cleared the security check. Only the boarding remains.
Yes.
So nothing goes wrong.
And once you've checked in, the boarding will surely happen.
Yeah.
So you have to know that.
And she would have even made the airport if she didn't get that fit to fly certificate in terms of all the analogies, if you actually really had to take that into consideration. But look, let's see how Australia chop and change in their last 5 overs with the ball in hand. Darcy Brown to continue and to finish up a final over. Dipti Sharma won't take a run there because mid-off is up. Gurkirat, what's your prediction, my friend? Because I know you've joined us slightly late in this watch along, but so far, what you've seen in the 35 overs, do you think the last 5 overs could go India's way?
I hope they do. I thought when Smriti was dismissed, I thought the game was pretty much done and dusted. And I think even though it is Harmanpreet who scored a 50, but I loved Jemimah's knock. I think after that kind of a start, it needed some good batting to keep India afloat. But what she did was quite special because she ensured that India don't fall behind the required rate. India were 92 or 93 at the end of 10 overs, which basically meant that India had scored more than what was required at the halfway stage, despite having the kind of start that they did. So I think it's been brilliant batting by both of them. Just hopefully, Deepti, Richa, and with Sneh Rana to follow. I just hope that India this time, cross that hurdle and cross that line, because it has happened far too many times where India have been within touching distance of a victory, but just have found a way to falter some way or the other. You look at the 2017 World Cup final, you look at the CWG final in recent times. It's been quite harsh on Indian fans. Hopefully today is not that day.
Hopefully, man. But good points mentioned by you there. We were just looking at the replay of Harmanpreet walking back, and she was distraught. And I say distraught is an understatement. She was livid, throwing the bat everywhere. Vikram Mohanty going on to say, very unlucky Harmanpreet of all the ways to get out. That's not a good one because it's not even her fault. I mean,
that's right.
Fully agreed. I mean, hopefully it turns out to be a contribution in some way or the other. Rajesh Human still being positive in the comments saying Ghosh finishing it and India winning by 4 wickets. That'll be honestly something to see. And that'll mean India will be the first team to enter this year's final. Remember the second semi-final between England and South Africa. England did beat us. England have always beaten us in T20 World Cups. But let's see how we can talk about that game going forward. But right now, as it stands, 134 for 5, 15.2. There's been a slight interruption because Dipti Sharma got hit in her ribs. But
hope she's well.
Yeah, hope she's well. And things would just presume right now.
It wakes her up.
Hope it wakes her up.
Yeah.
Will she want to come back for 2? No, there wouldn't be 2 there. So 38 of 27. So still Australia pulling things back. Bharat Kotwani going to say, what a presence of mind by Healy. How fast she quickly to move the bails. I mean, she had to kind of do that just generally. But still, I mean, it's these smaller fine things which can really hurt a team, and it's definitely hurting India right now. Dipti can't run. Twos going on to see Bharat Kotwani. And all you 42 lovely people watching this, subscribe. And of course, follow Vaishali, follow Crazy Nicks, follow Gurkirat. Try to follow me if you guys have time in your life. I mean, it's not a compulsion of any sort. Oh, cheeky from Richard Bush.
Somesh has actually tweeted that, Harmanpreet was actually a tad casual as well there.
Yeah, she actually read the second one slow. We can.
That is true.
Yeah.
Chuchan saying, giving me World Cup 2019 semi-final vibes. Harmanpreet run out seems very similar to Dhoni's run out. I mean, Dhoni was still pressing at it.
Relate to some good matches, no? Where India won. Why are you relating only to this kind of matches? Please relate to some good matches.
Some positivity, lads. Positivity. Come on, Richa.
Come on, Richa. One shot.
Yeah, we need a boundary here.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a dot ball. This is a fantastic over, Vaishali.
Yeah.
1 run.
Yeah, but hopefully one ball remains, so we get a boundary.
Oh God! Now I'm getting to be scared again. India in the middle overs are fantastic. 75 for 2 in that 8 overs, quite brilliant. Nix, what's your gut feel? You've been quiet for a while. All okay? All well?
Doesn't give good
How's the
vibes.
heart
Let's
rate?
see. Doesn't give good vibes. Let's see.
Oh, hold on!
Out,
Hold on! No! That looked good! So
I
good!
told you.
God, is that the dagger blow? Is that the dagger blow? Gurkirat, talk to me, my friend.
All I'll say is if 39 from 30, if it's not done, it's going to take a long time to get out of that. So hopefully it doesn't go down that way. But it looks very...
ऐसे मत बोलो भाई, ये क्या है, dude? What is this? And what an over! What an absolute game-changing over!
No, I think this is where I don't want to be too harsh on Richa because she's very young. Was just recently playing the under-19 World Cup, so I mean people can get an idea of her age. But this is where experience is important. This was an over which India could have just looked at 6 singles because the wicket had fallen in the previous over. But it just felt that Richa was trying too many things because just before this shot she tried to play a lap, and I don't think this is the kind of pitch for a lap because it's a slow pitch from what I have been able to gauge, and the length also wasn't very apt for it. So you could sort of sense and feel that she was getting restless because she'd not been able to strike a boundary early on. I wouldn't really say that this shot wasn't on because it was mid on inside the circle. Long on wasn't there. Probably could have tried to hit it straighter a little bit, but fine margins. Yeah, I mean she'll learn with experience, but like Nikhil said, if India are not able to chase this down, it's really going to hurt because CWG was also I think in CWG as well India needed some 39 of 30 if I'm not wrong.
No, absolutely, Gurkirat. I mean, you summed it up well there. But look, can India still get across the line? Sneh Rana is no mug with a bat. I know she's playing her first World Cup game this time around. But like Samish says, a new hero in Sneh Rana needs to set up, hopefully, fingers crossed. And Australia elated with that wicket because they know in recent times how good Richa Ghosh has been. They saw her in that bilateral when she got them over the line. Vaishali is speechless right now. Vaishali, all good?
Yeah, everything is fine. But I think that wicket was against the run of play.
Yeah.
But hopefully the situation is still in the control. So if we can keep running some runs in these overs, build a partnership, and then even if we need somewhere around say 20 in 2 overs or something like that, it's still achievable.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. How you look at it, 36 of 21. And like Nix and Gurkirat just mentioned, right, that's going to eat India up. Oh, that's a 4. That's a 4. Get in there, Dipti Sharma. She's not going to throw the towel, this woman. That's for sure. India now 32 of 20. The dressing room, I mean, the dugout at least looks a little bit of hopeful more than anything else. Women cricket is not about hitting 6s. You can hit 4s. There are only 4 fielders outside, says Bharat Kotwani. Look, Dipti is going to be super crucial right now. 32 of 20. And India putting themselves in a position. Oh my God.
No.
Little bit of a leading edge.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see anything wrong.
Ball is talking, I feel, a bit.
Yeah.
So you can't play those big shots, because it's not coming onto the bat nicely. So you have to hit through the gaps, take some runs, good running between the wicket, and I think we can still do it.
That is true. I mean, it just makes you think about that final over, Nix, of Renuka Singh. I know it's easy to pick out games in hindsight, and she didn't have a good day clearly in all of 4 overs. But in particular, the last 2 overs, in particular, the last over itself, do you think that just gave Australia that 170 psychologically, taking them over the line and the edge?
It did, and also the usage. I mean, we did discuss about Deepthi bowling 3 up top. If she bowls 2 up top, she bowls at the end. Again, I know Deepthi is also one for runs in the past, but you back her to do the job maybe more than Renuka. Again, it's just like nitpicking now. But again, for now, if they get the 31, I don't think it matters. But going ahead too, I think it will be something to take care of. That if it's not your strength, let's just stick to what is working well, rather than because India haven't had the bowlers to bowl at the end. It's been there for a while. So you need that experience and smartness load on in that option order. But I think here it's about 1 over going for 12. Hopefully it is this one. So let's see.
But I think too much will be read into that last over. But overall as well, in the last 8 overs, India gave away 83 runs.
And the drops.
89. Australia were 89 for 1 in 12 overs, 94 for 1 in 13. And from there on, they scored 172. So I think Ashley Gardner's knock was also, quite well. And then Meg Lanning was just fed with a lot of hit me balls. And
come on, Sneh.
Yeah, I mean, to just single out someone like Renuka Singh would be a little too much. But yeah, India was just poor to finish off the innings with the ball.
Yeah, and especially what Renuka has done so far in recent times. She's had one bad day and it came in the semi-final. No one expected it, but good points from Nick and Gurkirat. Let's take this one from SS98, and it brings a smile to Vaishali because it mentions one of her favorite players domestically, that is Kiran Navgire. And he says, should have been groomed for such situations. Why not give up on her just after one bad series? There's a wide and India will pinch another run. So that's a good result in terms of the grander scheme of things. Right now, it's 26 of 16. Sorry, Vaishali. Kiran Navgire?
Yeah, exactly.
In a situation like this, would have been brilliant.
When the squad was announced, that time itself, I've told, like, we have the options, but we do not have many power hitters at the top.
True.
Like today also, if you see Yastika, Harleen, and all of these guys, means Yastika was given the chance today, but we've not seen her, striking at the rate which is needed.
Yeah. Sneh Rana has gone onside.
Yes.
Good Sneh Rana. Get in there. We would take that 23 of 15 right now. Raj is still being absolutely positive. Good to see that. Keep the positivity coming through in the comments. Sorry, Gurkirat. What's up? What do you say?
I was saying the shot, nothing else. And now that they've got the boundary for this over, they should just try and bring down the equation to 20 off 2. Because
I fully agree. But do they have it in them to do that?
Yes, they can.
Yes.
Yeah, that they can.
So we needed 12.
That's what I told, right?
They've got 9.
Yeah. That's what I told, right? 20 and 2, it's still doable.
That is true. Here is where, so many fans start losing their nails by just biting them. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat. All of those.
In this world, Jai Mata Di. A bit of boundary to record everyone to get to us. Yes, we all say Jai Mata Di.
That's really attention to detail from Samish. So good on that. Really appreciate Samish's comment over there. And it's made Nick's chuckle and give him a thumbs up. So I think his days got better.
Yeah, the only difference is if Nikhil would have to posted this, he would have used JMD instead of Jai Mata Di. He has some unreasonable love for these abbreviations, and sometimes if you are not keeping up with the context, they could mean something else completely.
So that's the intent.
I heard him all the time. Okay, 1 second. Gurkirat, 21 of 13, 20 of 2 overs. So basically, what you said has come true. But let me just ask you this question. Who are Australia now going to throw the ball to in these 2 overs? Is that something the batter should consider out there in the middle? Who will it be?
I'm just looking at their options.
Should be Gardner and Gardner
has one. Jonathan has 2. Wareham has 1. They could be Perry. They could be Talia McGrath.
Yeah,
because Megan Shoot and Darcy Brown are done.
Yeah, I think Gardner will bowl this one, and then
Yeah.
the last over might be down to Perry, maybe, because
I think
they'll back her.
I think they might even give the ball to Jonathan, because if Sneh Rana's on strike, she's a right-hander, so just Jonathan is a left-arm spinner. Maybe that could happen, but
Okay, let's see.
yeah. But I think one of the overs might be bowled by Perry.
And you're
Not
right,
sure.
Gurkirat. You're right, my friend. It is Jess Jonathan. Is it? Sorry, I'm just kind of guessing early here.
No, this is
Or it
Gardner.
Ashley Gardner. Oh, sorry, it's Ashley Gardner. So Gardner will finish her quota of 4 overs. It's the penultimate over she's bowling. India need 20 runs.
No, this is Jonathan.
In the final of 2 overs. Oh, sorry, it's Jess Jonathan. It's Jess Jonathan. My bad.
So much
Sorry.
confusion.
Yeah, we all kind of got confused, but no worries. 19 of 11. Okay, it's getting really nervous now. I don't know how you guys are doing in terms of heart rate. Let me just check mine. Yeah, it's fine. It's all right.
Just 2
all right.
balls from Dipti and the
2
game
boundaries
is
to
done.
mid wicket in this over.
Yeah.
No, I think the field's up on the offside, so
Yeah.
maybe there's a possibility that she tried to cut, or because leg side boundary is also the bigger one, I suppose.
Kanishk Agarwal going on to ask Gurkirat sir, what is your age?
27.
Bata de bhai. On paper or in reality? Ask him that first.
No, in reality, definitely in reality.
Okay, 18 of 10.
You won't find Facebook pictures of me, being 14 and playing cricket. You won't find that.
Kanish, guess his age. We won't really put it out for you, but guess his age. Also, Nix and Gurkirat and Vaishali, what is Dipti's go-to shot here?
Mid wicket boundary.
Is it the mid-wicket boundary? Oh,
Wide hai, to
why
wide
does
hai.
Dipti wants to run?
This won't be given a wide.
Why? Why is that not a wide? How is that not a wide?
Because I think the umpire thought.
Bhai, mazak chal raha hai, bhai. Gurkirat, how is that not a wide?
Yeah, that's a wide. Yeah, that's a clear wide.
See, if this is where I feel sometimes umpires tend
And
to
umpire has to
use their own
Can't we use
intelligence.
referral and say that's a
And who's
wide?
the Justin Langer lookalike?
Because he knew that he's a wide.
Wow. 18 of 9, so no wide given. Absolutely
Shot!
bullshit according to me.
Oh, that's a shot.
That's the
bro.
ball we needed. Oh my God, what kind of feeling is that? This Australian team never ceases to amaze us. I mean, that is just sensational. Nearly a run out as well. And it's Elise Perry. Out of anyone, that's Elise Perry. Wow. I mean, I thought Sneh Rana did fantastically to get nearly a boundary there. But Elise Perry, take a bow. Absolute athleticism if there ever was. Umpire shit, Vikram Mohanty. I agree with you fully. Yeah, I mean, lambast the umpire right now. Honestly.
Let's get
Shocking.
one boundary.
I mean, if you guys saw Gurkirat's reaction as well, it paints a good picture, which is very, very good. I mean, if you guys know Gurkirat, you know Gurkirat. What a fielding, saying Bharat Kotwani. Yeah, great fielding. 16 of 8. How much would you take the last over, boys? 10, 12, 13?
12.
Yeah, 12 max.
She comes down the ground. She doesn't want the
Oh
single.
no, what are you doing? Yeah.
16 or 7.
There
fielding
wasn't a
is
single. There wasn't a single to begin with.
I agree with Chachad. There were so many misfields. It was ridiculous. Obviously, the drop catch of Beth Mooney cost us as well. So fielding could really be the difference in the hindsight scheme of things. But 7 balls left, 16 to get. Come on, we need a boundary. We need something from Sneh Rana.
She has to open up the offside over here.
Oh, for sure.
Because all
Shubh
the field
Agarwal
is
saying
up
another
on the
heartbreak
offside.
loading. Shubh, watch out, man. Oh, no! Oh, God. Jess Jonathan keeping her calm and composure. Australia nearly there because India 157 for 7. They need 16 in the final over to make the final. Guys, talk to me. Nix, Gurkirat, what's the mood in the camp, bro? Are we hoping Dipti pulls it off from here?
She
Very
can,
difficult.
definitely. But it's going to be Gardner. If Gardner bowls, whoever bowls, I'm sure she can. But it's probably 4, 5 more.
Yeah, India need the kind of luck that they had in that India-Pakistan game in the World Cup last year, like the men's World Cup. because 16 of 6 is you if you have to win from here, you need some kind of luck, a no ball, or
you need
maybe
a Nawaz waste hit no ball, and you need
something like
You
that,
need
because
Dipti going down the ground and getting out of the ground.
I'm going to come on that wide, in like everyone thinks, because as per the rules, the convention has to be is that if the ball's missing the leg stump, you give it as a wide. But sometimes umpires tend to use their own intelligence, where if the batter is moving across the crease, then they change according to that. And I think here what the umpire thought, that in her normal stance, if she was standing the way she was, it wouldn't have been wide. So that is why I'm not going to be very harsh on the umpire there, because they've tended to have those decisions when even the batter is moving across the crease and the ball has been bowled around the off stump wide line. So
True. 1 second, Ash Gardner to bowl the final one. 1 second, Dipti, she got 4 here. She could well have. Oh, and again, it's brilliant fielding. And she'll take 2. So 14 of 5. She nearly got the boundary that India wanted off it. That would have been a perfect way to start the final over, where India needs 16, guys. So let's get all our positive efforts
Let's
and
do
hope
it.
that India pull this across the line. Ash Gardner to bowl her final in 4th over. Dipti, go for it. You can do this, says Chachad.
Yes.
Everyone waiting with bated breath. I'm sure the whole country is watching this right now.
Oh.
Dipti's gone down the ground, and she should come back for 2. The throw is at her end, and she'll make it. Brilliant stuff.
Good dive.
So 12 of 4.
Yeah.
We need a boundary, baby. We need a boundary. Come
2
on,
sixes,
we need
that's
that.
all we need. 2 sixes.
This
Do you think
is-
it can be super over?
Oh my God. She's mentioned the 2 dreaded words, super overs. Cricket Insight, quickly take your comment. I actually can't look at the comment below because there's so much of nervous energy right now. I'll take a comment just after this ball. Be patient. Subscribe before that if you haven't already, and like this particular video. Dipti getting ready for the next ball. 12 of 4. The entire offside is up. There's deep mid-wicket. There's long on. There's deep square. There's actually deep fine leg as well. So, I mean,
over the offside.
Ash Gardner is going to be firing it flat. She's probably not going to. She might even tempt Dipti. I don't know.
I've never seen Deepti play a reverse sweep. This might be a good time to do that.
Oh, she tries to go offside. She has to force herself to take a single. And that'll mean Radha now. 11 of 3. 11 of 3. Hey, guys, that's why I said Jess is a good matchup. Every time it gives them the option to bowl Brown and shoot early. Same thing they did in the Commonwealth game. Yeah, I mean, good observation there, Cricket Insight. But I was hoping something India-centric right now, given that we need a little bit of stuff from their end. 11 of 3. Rajesh, you've been hoping for a 6 in 1 ball sort of thing, and then India to win. Kanishk Agarwal still confident, saying we are winning it. I mean, Vaishali's still confident. I'm still confident, but we need this ball to be a boundary. A 4 or a 6 or whatever it is. It has to go for 4 or a 6.
Radha.
Come on, Radha. Oh, she's gone down the ground. She's gone down the ground and is found long on. And is that the hopes which go? Australia, they just have the know-how to get the job done. And Vaishali just, I mean, her noise just summed it up over there. It's just frustrating. It's honestly just frustrating. Oh my, Australia's Real Madrid of women's cricket. Just don't give up till the match is finished. I mean, Meg Lanning and her team, they just have so many different ways to instill blows. It's ridiculous. I mean, they got the crucial wicket of Harman in a very funny way. They got Richa out. And now 11 of 2 is, I mean, it's doable, but let's face it, guys. It's not going to be the day that we were all expecting. Best captain, Meg Lanning. Australia comes to win another World Cup. Another team just participates. As much as I love Australia, as much as Indian fans can say, yeah, we lost to the champions and all of that, I hope this Australian team wins the World Cup. I mean, essentially. Right? Or you want England or South Africa to win it. South Africa should win it. South Africa should win it. It'll just be a different winner. It'll be the hosts winning it.
Yeah.
It won't mean that Australia and England are the finalists, everyone predicted. So penultimate ball of the semi-final, down the ground. And with that, unfortunately, India comes so close, but no cigar. 10 runs required of the last ball. Surely there can't be an overstepping incident here from Ash Gardner or a wide. because India, well, it's dejection. And it's delight for Australia. It's dejection, like I say, for the women in blue. They've come so close. And yet again, it's that familiar feeling, right? Semi-final exit. We say that about the men's. We say that about the women's. And well done, Team Australia. Well done. I mean, Ash Gardner, Elise Perry, all their superstars have come to the fore.
The over from Darcy Brown.
Yeah, it was a game
changed
changer.
Everything.
No matter what, this has been a good game. Australia showed their maturity, pressure situation. Still good from India considering where they were in the beginning.
Yeah.
Fully agree with you, Vikram Mohanty. Ditti gets a boundary. India lose by 5 runs. But look, the big breaking news: Ram Newland's caped out. Australia make yet another Women's World T20 final at the expense of India. India crash out again in a semi-final, and they wouldn't like it. But we're super proud of them. At one stage, even though the odds were against them, India actually thought of toppling this Australian juggernaut. But wasn't it be India lose by 5 runs, Australia win by 5 runs, however you want to read into it. Quickly, before we just wrap proceedings, because I certainly need a breather and a glass of water, and so does Nick and Vaishali and Gurkirat. Gurkirat, I'll start with you. What is the biggest positive and what is the biggest letdown, according to you, my friend? Not just in this game, but throughout the course of the World Cup as well.
So, for me, the biggest positive of this game has to be Jemima's batting. Unfortunately, I was traveling for work, so I've not been able to watch all India games to comment on what has been the biggest positive. So I'll leave that aside. But today's game, I thought Jemima has batted as well as as I've ever seen her bat, and that's a huge positive from an Indian point of view. Negatives, I mean, again, if you look at the negatives, they're pretty much the same that you've seen with the team across tournaments. In important games, India have been sloppy in the field. It's not about one odd drop catch, because that can happen, and I also believe that one odd drop catch is not something that can change the result of the game more often than not. There are rare occurrences, but in a 240 ball game, one ball is not going to more or less decide how the game is going to be played. India were just sloppy in the field. There were misfields. There was not one lost chance of a drop catch. I think there were a couple. So and then they were sloppy with the ball as well. The full tosses, just the way they were bowling, and not bowling according to fields. So that was another negative. And it's mostly, and then the finishing. Finishing has been India's Achilles heel for quite some long time. I was just looking at the scores in the Commonwealth Games final. India needed 44 of 30, and then 17 of 12. Today, India needed 39 of 30. We all know what happened in that final of the 2017 World Cup. So there is more or less the only thing that we have seen that is new out of this game. I think it's Jemima's batting, but other than that, I don't think there was much. You could say that India missed Pooja Vastrakar's batting, because she has the capability to hit those big hits, but you knew that before the game, you knew that during the game, so you can't really say you lost because Pooja Vastrakar weren't there. There are other 11 players, and you were in a position from where you could have won the game. So it's disappointing and to some extent heartbreaking. Vishali's face is an apt representation of how a fan would be feeling right now, because this is a movie which has repeated itself far too often. You just somehow know how it's going to play out, regardless of how how good it might have felt at some point of time. The climax is something which is not changing. The story before the climax is changing. So hopefully there is a different climax the next time India are playing a big game. But it's disappointing.
It's disappointing, but I love the points you mentioned over there, Gurkirat. And it's always good to see you and hear from you, of course. And it's just that feeling of dejection right now. It's that moment where you're just kind of having lumps in the throat and going through the emotions. And he summed it up really well there, Nix, when Gurkirat said that it's a familiar taste that we've witnessed as Indian fans, with the men's, with the women's as well. I think one of the comments saying, said, I hate the word semi-final right now. How are you feeling at this moment in time? And when you wake up tomorrow in the cold light of day, how are you going to be looking back at this match? Is it the feeling? Is it basically the team combination? What really didn't set things right for you, Nick?
You're on mute.
You're on mute, sir.
Exactly how that be able to do the controllables well. It is something we discussed right up top. 39 in 30, it should always be done. No matter how much luck you wanted, you needed, whatever happened in the first innings, 39 in 30, 5 wickets in hand, you will always take it. There is no two ways about it. And the team, it's about those calls that you make during the game. We saw the Jamie dismissal, we felt it was avoidable. The Harmanpreet Kaur dismissal, it happens, but it's kept happening. The Richa Ghosh or the Rasky Brown is bowling a good over. Richa Ghosh is young. Do you need the boundary then, or do you want to get off strike and be at the other end? So it's those small calls that you have to take in that moment where, of course, they are young. They will learn from it, which is where WPL will come very handy. They'll get used to closing these games out. And what Gurpreet also alluded to, you needed a senior partner at the other end. You needed somebody to tell Richa that this is not the time to maybe hit a six or just get off strike. Let's look at the other over. 39 in 30 cannot come down to 10 in 1. You are not doing the chase right with whatever calculations you're doing there. So, and it wasn't as if that Australia were always disciplined, but they controlled what they could. Ellis Perry's dive there, right line to stop that boundary. Those are the different. There are so many such smaller moments that you want Shefali's catch to drop Mooney. You can, like, there are so many such small moments which the team invariably hasn't been able to take control of. So, I mean, 39 in 30, the number will just stay with me. It's just, I don't know. Hopefully, the WPL helps them cross that barrier because it's needed. You won't learn how to do it unless you do it. I felt this was the best chance to do it. You can call it luck. I don't think it's luck, to be very honest. Let's not put it down to luck because it can't always be Harmanpreet. You have other guys in the team as well for a reason. You have to find a way to score. The top order has to come good in the big game as well. So again, enough lessons, hopefully well implemented when the next time we see them.
Yeah, I think both of you guys are summing it up superbly. I'll just finish up with Vaishali's thought. And Akash, appreciate your comment as well. And full praise to you as well for calling it as it is, because Meg Lanning did use her options well when Australia came to defend this 173. And of course, we know what she did with a bat as well. Vaishali, it strikes me with Gurkeerat and Knicks, they mentioned that particular equation, 39 of 30. Is it in a way too good for that situation to turn out the way it did? Because India had their backs against the wall, 3 for 28. From that position to take it to 39 for 30, do you think they got too complacent almost, saying that it's less than 8 runs and over, we can just nudge and nurdle over here, and then eventually just got the better of them?
First of all, it's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, gut-wrenching.
Absolutely. Out of words, loss of words for everything as of now. But then, looking at the result, if someone will look at it, you are playing against Australia in 173 run chase and losing just by 5 runs.
Yeah.
Just 5. So even more than 39 of 30, that 5 runs in a run chase of 173 is what hurting me the most.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can pinpoint of many things that this was wrong, that was wrong.
And even the last ball that we bowled in our innings went for 6.
6. Even the first ball of last over went for 6. So there can be many things, I think, but the turning point has to be a run out of Harmanpreet Kaur. That's where I feel. But, it's all about sometime it doesn't get into your favor. But then we lose from the same situation. We have been telling that our top 3, top 4 hasn't been in a good form. But then every time our lower order got a chance to perform and get us over the line, it has not happened.
Yeah.
It has not happened, to be very honest. Same with Commonwealth Games. We were in the situation, as everyone is saying, I think we needed some 10 runs in last 1 over, but we couldn't get it. That time also lower order and lower middle order and middle order were there, but they couldn't get us through the line. That time also Jamie got out, Harmanpreet got out, and we were in this situation. If you see this match, then also it happens the same thing. Harman got out, Jamie got out, then Harman got out, and they were not able to get us through the line. So as everybody is saying, no, it's not every time you will get contribution. Like you want Smriti Mandhana to get you over the line, even our lower order has to contribute.
Yeah.
So losing by 5 runs, I think it was going to hurt a lot. 173 run chase. You lost against England by 11 runs and then 155 run chase. So that just tells you the improvement that these guys have shown. That just tells you the importance of that partnership which was there between Jamie and Harman. But I really, really hope that we understand from this game, and this is the best chance you can get it right. How closer you were there.
That
No
is
one
true.
would have
just
after.
just to add more context, India will still take this because you came into the game knowing that only two of your top four have had good scores. Kaur hadn't
Yeah.
got a good score. Shefali hadn't got a good score. So in a way, you see, it's not the informed team or the team that has had been blowing on all guns blazing that's going to the knockouts. You've had issues which were being papered over by individual brilliances so far, but I think it's a maybe timely wake up call to just smell the coffee that okay, it's not working the way it should. Maybe there is time to just ensure there is better. Of course, the WPL will definitely help, but maybe it also tells you that your usage, the players that you have. Again, Australia came into the game. Mooney got a score, Healy got a score, Lanning got a score. Gardner came in and put in a performance. Darcy Brown bowled a very key over. Jonathan came into the game, bowled a crucial second last over. So you need the guys to be ready for it. I think India were lacking in that front in terms of the options that they tried and the way they executed. So, like in hindsight, also you'll probably say semi-final exit against Australia to look at it from a positive angle. Okay, you competed well despite losing three, but there are enough things that told you that you knew this already. So there are enough things to just pick and start working on. So hopefully that doesn't get lost in the conversation.
Yeah.
Just before the WPL, I think they should work as your eye opener. You should
Yeah.
try to build a team which has enough match winners. Even if Harmanpreet got out at that time, Debbie got out that time, you still had believed that these guys can go and do it. So time to unearth new talent which is needed. Time to get off with the people who were given chances but are not able to do it. So I think WPL, take this as an opportunity, build a team which is as dominant as Australia, because you've beaten Australia like only by 573 run chase. So time to look beyond, time to see what fits best in our 11, because we have enough talent and that WPL will show you. So I think it's time to move on, take some hard calls, build a team full of champions and which is there to beat any team in the world at any given point of time.
And
Yeah,
you can groom
hopefully
people,
that's
right? And you can groom
yeah.
people. Like WPL will help you get those middle over batters to close
Yes.
the game. And when they
Yeah.
do that with Perry at the side or with somebody or a Gardner at the side, that's when they learn that okay, in this position, what should I be doing? I think that is what has been always missing with this unit. So hopefully WPL answers that call in a very big way.
Indeed. I mean, if you guys could have just heard us in the last 5 to 10 minutes, it does go to show that it's a bitter pill to swallow, not just for the players out there, but the fans, of course, who support this Indian women's team. And yet another semi-final exit for the Indian cricket team. I mean, women's or men's. Look, you win some, you learn some. Hopefully, it's a latter, like Vaishali, Nix, and Gurkirat have been alluding to. It's been a terrific watch along, though. We had the ebbs and flows, we had the emotions. Rewind it, rewatch it if you guys want to, if there is any merit in that. But that's all we have time for in this watch along. Thanks so much to Gurkirat, and a special shout out to Crazy Nix, Nikhil Popat, for taking his time up for the rest. I mean, for the 3 hours, 26 minutes he's given us this evening. It's absolute gold dust from Nix and Vaishali as well for bringing all the positivity and the good luck as well. We'll leave it there, gents. Thank you so much for making your presence felt. Before I go, I just want to plug in the Play the Odds feature, the brand new feature on the CDC app. Here's what I mean. Check out cricket.com's brand new feature on our app called Play the Odds. Test your cricket knowledge by making predictions on match events. Not just that, come back to check the results and see your earnings. Maintain your streak by playing on consecutive featured match days. If you think you can, of course, beat this, check out the rulebook to be assured by the formalities of this game. Anyway, check out this feature and we'll be back to the show right now. Right, so time to say goodbye to all you lovely people who showed us incredible support on a Thursday evening. And we'll see Vaishali soon. Not on Sunday, we're not doing the World Cup watch along, but she'll be there for the WPL. She just gave me a date, so it's about me chalking in that to our schedule and see.
And again, as I said in the last watch along as well, please support your team. This is the team will get you the cup again. So please support your team. I know it's a heartbreaking loss. Like no one can feel more than us, because we have been supporting this team and we wanted them to go over the line. But I'm absolutely proud of the way this chase was unfolded. Having lost 3 wickets and then still coming so close. So we have something in this team. So do not back at this point of time. This is the time when they need you the most. Please support and they will come good. Trust me.
Absolutely, and that's honestly like a great plea from a huge women's cricket fan. And she's saying that for the betterment of the Indian team, because look, we've learned a few things today, like they've spoken about, but only onwards and upwards for women's cricket from right now. I'm Avnish Hegde. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself bringing this watch along with you, with Vaishali, Nix and Gurkirat and Bishan, who was there earlier. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Radha on, but hopefully everything goes swimmingly well going forward. Tomorrow is Friday. There's plenty of content. Subscribe to our channel. And of course, we'll leave it here. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but look, there is plenty of positive days ahead. We rest assure you that.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. Thanks for watching. It's a goodbye from both of us. We'll see you soon.